"Excuse me, are you the janitor?" The question never comes. Nobody asks Benjamin Hayes anything because nobody sees him. Not really. They see the grey uniform, the mop bucket, the quiet man who appears at dawn and vanishes into hallways employees never notice. He is furniture. Background noise. Invisible. 5 a.m. Benjamin Hayes punches his time card at Campbell Industries. Employee number 1847. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead, indifferent to his existence. His hands are weathered, scarred in ways that tell stories he never shares. At 39 grey threads through his dark hair at the temples. Lines crease the corners of his eyes, maps of sleepless nights and memories that refuse to fade. He moves through the building like a ghost. His cart squeaks slightly, a rhythmic soundtrack to his solitude. Executive bathrooms on the 20th floor, scrubbed before anyone arrives to use them. Conference rooms where million-dollar deals happen, trash emptied from bins that hold the crumpled drafts of someone else's success. Coffee stains on marble floors wiped away as if they never existed. Just like him. Management loves Benjamin Hayes. Reliable, silent, never complains, never asks for raises, never misses a shift. Perfect. The kind of employee who makes their jobs easier by making himself smaller. He keeps his head down, his movements efficient, his interactions minimal. When someone does speak to him, he nods, responds in single syllables, returns to his work. His apartment is 6 blocks away. Basement unit. Cheap rent because the ceiling leaks when it rains, and the heating system gave up years ago. He doesn't care. The space holds almost nothing. 2 narrow beds pushed against opposite walls, one for him and one for his son. A small table where Noah does homework under a lamp that flickers. 2 mismatched chairs. A hot plate for cooking meals that taste like routine. A mini refrigerator that hums too loudly at night. On the scratched dresser sits a single framed photograph. Face down. It has been face down for 2 years. Before that it stood upright for 6 years while he stared at it every night, tears, silent, guilt crushing. Now it lies flat against the wood, and he pretends it isn't there. But it is. Always there. Sarah's smile pressed against darkness, waiting. A small shelf holds Noah's drawings, crayon renderings of houses with families inside, stick figures holding hands, sunshine and trees, and a world where words aren't necessary because pictures say everything. Noah doesn't talk much, hasn't since his mother died when he was 6 months old. Selective mutism, the doctors called it. Trauma response. Ben calls it survival. His son found a way to exist in a world that took away the voice he needed most. Every evening after work, Ben picks up Noah from the after-school program. They walk hand in hand to the community clinic on the east side, where broken windows look out on broken streets. Inside, Ben teaches first aid to kids who have nowhere else to go. Street kids with hollow eyes and defensive postures. Elderly folks who can't afford real medical care. Runaways who trust no one. He shows them how to clean wounds properly, how to recognize shock, how to perform CPR, how to stop bleeding, how to save a life when help is too far away or too expensive or too late. He demonstrates on mannequins, his hands moving with precision that seems impossible for a janitor. The kids watch closely. They call him Doc, somehow sensing something he never tells them. Ben never mentions he used to be a surgeon. Never says he spent 3 combat tours in Afghanistan saving soldiers and civilians alike. Never explains that his hands once held beating hearts, that his decisions meant life or death, that he was good at this, maybe the best in his unit. Never. That person died 8 years ago in an explosion that took his wife and left him breathing. Under his grey uniform strapped across his chest is a worn canvas bag. Military green frayed at the edges. Inside, hemostatic gauze, tourniquets, a collapsible cervical collar. Surgical tape, sterile gloves, a pen-light emergency airways. Military-grade trauma equipment that has no place in a janitor's life. He carries it everywhere, every single day, just in case. In case of what he doesn't say. But his body knows. His training knows. Some part of him is still standing in that field hospital, still trying to save everyone. Still failing, at night after Noah falls asleep drawing pictures of families. Ben sits at the small table, coffee gone cold in his cup, hands shaking slightly from exhaustion or memory he can't tell anymore. The photo on the dresser calls to him. He never answers. 8 years of silence. 8 years of punishment. 8 years of believing he doesn't deserve to live fully when Sarah doesn't live at all. The city outside his window hums with life. Cars pass. People laugh in the distance. The world continues indifferent to his grief. He is invisible here too. Exactly how he wants it. Invisible means safe. Invisible means no one asks questions. Invisible means he can't fail anyone who matters. But invisibility, like everything else, is temporary. Soon a desperate child will shatter his carefully constructed isolation. Soon he'll be forced to choose between hiding and healing. Soon the invisible man will be seen. And once seen, there's no going back to the shadows. For now, though, he sits in darkness. Alone, but not lonely, because loneliness would require acknowledging that he wants connection. He doesn't, can't, won't. He is a ghost haunting his own life, and ghosts don't get second chances. The universe, however, has other plans. Victoria Campbell wakes at 5:30 a.m. to an alarm that sounds like ambition. She's in her office, by 6 cities spread below her 20th floor windows like conquered territory. At 34, she runs an empire her father built from dreams and determination. Campbell Industries, enterprise software solutions, Fortune 500 clients, annual revenue in 9 figures. Success measured in metrics that never sleep. She divorced 2 years ago. Her ex-husband wanted a trophy wife who smiled at dinner parties and stayed silent during business discussions. He wanted someone who made him look good, not someone who made him obsolete. The marriage lasted 3 years. The divorce took 6 months. She got Emma. He got his freedom. Everyone pretended it was amicable. Now she works 16-hour days, arrives before sunrise, leaves after dark, eats lunch at her desk while reviewing contracts, takes calls during dinner, sleeps 4 hours if she's lucky. She tells herself it's necessary. Someone has to run the company. Someone has to prove women can do this. Someone has to show Emma that strength means never stopping. But guilt rides her shoulders like a weight she can't put down. Emma, 6 years old, blonde curls, bright eyes, careful smile. The daughter who colors quietly in the corner of her mother's office, who says it's okay when dinner gets postponed again, who never complains about the nanny putting her to bed most nights. Emma has a small desk beside Tori's massive one. Child-sized furniture in a room built for power. She brings her coloring books, her tablets, her toys. She plays alone while her mother conquers the business world. She's learned to be quiet, to not interrupt, to make herself small, so the important work can happen. At 6 years old, she already understands that some things matter more than her. Tori sees it. The loneliness in her daughter's eyes. The way Emma lights up when the nanny arrives because at least someone is paying attention. The careful way she asks, "Can we have dinner together tonight?" Mommy followed immediately by, "But I know you're busy. It's okay." 6 years old and already managing her mother's guilt. Every Thursday evening, Emma has ballet practice from 5 to 7. Mrs. Paula Chen, her nanny, brings her to the building after school. They wait in the employee playroom, a cheerful space with puzzles and books and games Emma rarely touches because she's waiting. Always waiting. For her mother to be done, to be available, to be present. Except for the past 3 months, Emma hasn't been waiting in the playroom. She's been disappearing. Slipping away when Mrs. Chen is distracted. Taking the service elevator down, down, down to the basement levels where the forgotten people work. Where she found Noah Hayes, 7 years old. Dark hair, serious eyes, hands that draw instead of speak. He was sitting alone in a basement corridor creating pictures on scrap paper when Emma discovered him. 2 lonely children recognizing each other across the distance adults create. She sat down beside him, pulled out her crayons. They drew together in silence, and somehow that silence said everything. Benjamin Hayes found them one Thursday 3 months ago. Panic shot through him seeing his son with a stranger's child. But Emma looked up with those bright eyes and said, "We're drawing families. Want to see?" And he couldn't say no, so he supervised, made sure it was safe, appropriate, proper. Told himself it was temporary. It wasn't temporary. Emma came back every Thursday. Noah waited for her. They drew together, played simple games, existed in a space where neither was lonely. And Benjamin, despite every instinct telling him to keep distance, found himself teaching them things. How to tie a proper knot, how to whistle through your fingers, how to identify clouds. Small lessons that filled time while he worked nearby. Emma started talking about Mr. Ben at home. How he was kind, how he listened, how he made everything feel safe. Tori noticed her daughter's happiness and felt simultaneous gratitude and shame. Gratitude that someone was giving Emma what she needed. Shame that it wasn't her. She should stop it. Should forbid her daughter from spending time with a janitor she knows nothing about. Should keep Emma close, protected, supervised. Should. But Emma smiles more now. Talks more. Seems less like a child bearing the weight of her mother's ambitions. So Tori lets it continue, telling herself it's harmless, temporary fine. But nothing is ever fine when it's built on avoidance. Tori has been avoiding more than her daughter lately. Numbers in the quarterly reports don't add up. Money moves through accounts that shouldn't exist. When she questions her CFO, Gregory Walsh, he smiles with white teeth and empty reassurances. She doesn't believe him. Her instincts, the same ones that built this company, scream danger. She's been investigating quietly, tracing transactions, following paper trails, building a case. Gregory Walsh has been stealing from Campbell Industries. Millions, maybe more. Moving money through shell companies, fake vendors, offshore accounts. Covering his tracks with falsified reports and corrupted oversight. He's been doing this for years right under her nose, and she only noticed 6 months ago. Tonight, Thursday night, she's staying late to find the final piece, the backup files that will prove everything. Tomorrow morning she'll present her findings to the board. Gregory Walsh will be arrested. Justice will be served. She'll save her father's company from the man he trusted most. She doesn't know Gregory Walsh is desperate. Doesn't know he already suspects she's found the evidence. Doesn't know he's made arrangements, hired men, planned violence. Doesn't know that tonight in the parking garage she walks through every Thursday her life will change forever. Emma waits in the playroom doing a puzzle with Mrs. Chen. Noah waits in the basement hoping Emma will visit one more time before the weekend. Benjamin mops floors 3 levels down, counting minutes until he can pick up his son and return to their small, safe, invisible life. And the universe holds its breath, preparing to shatter everything. Benjamin wakes Noah at 6. Their morning routine is choreographed by repetition. Cereal in mismatched bowls. Noah picks out clothes while Ben makes lunch. They walk together to the elementary school 4 blocks away, Noah's small hand tucked into his father's scarred one. At the school gate, Noah turns back. Doesn't speak, but his eyes say, "I love you." Ben's eyes answer, "I love you too." Then his son disappears into the building, and Ben continues to work. The day passes in its usual rhythm, cleaning, scrubbing, emptying, erasing, making things pristine for people who never notice. He thinks about Noah's drawing from last night. 3 stick figures, him, Noah, and a woman with angel wings above them. Sarah. His son hasn't forgotten his mother, even though he never really knew her. Ben keeps the drawing folded in his wallet next to Sarah's photo, reminders of what he had and what he lost. Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock. Benjamin works in the basement corridors, the forgotten arteries of the building. Concrete walls, flickering fluorescent lights, the hum of mechanical systems keeping the upper floors comfortable, while the foundations remain cold. He hears footsteps, lighter than his, small. He turns. Emma. Blonde curls bouncing as she runs toward him, her face breaking into the kind of joy he hasn't seen in years. Mr. Ben, she doesn't slow down, just crashes into his legs with a hug that nearly knocks him over. He steadies himself, awkward, unsure, but something in his chest loosens slightly. "Hey, Emma, where's Mrs. Chen doing puzzles? I told her I needed the bathroom, but I wanted to see if Noah's here yet." "Is he here? Can I see him?" "Not yet. After-school program doesn't end until 5. Emma's face falls, but only for a moment. She's learned to manage disappointment. "Oh. Okay. Can I wait with you? I promise I'll be good. I won't touch anything. I'll just draw." Benjamin knows he should say no. Should march her back to the playroom, to proper supervision, to the world where she belongs. But her eyes hold something he recognizes. Loneliness. The kind that sits in your chest and makes every room feel too big and too empty at once. "Okay. But you stay where I can see you, and you go back before Mrs. Chen worries." Yes, Emma settles on an overturned bucket, pulls crayons from her pocket, and begins creating worlds on scrap paper. They exist in comfortable silence. Ben cleans, Emma draws. Time passes. Then she speaks, her voice small. "Mr. Ben, why do you clean floors? You seem too smart for that." The question hits harder than it should. He pauses, mop dripping. "Everyone has a job, Emma. All work has dignity, I guess. But didn't you want to be something else?" "I was something else. Once." "What were you?" He shouldn't answer, shouldn't crack open the past. But Emma's eyes hold no judgment, only curiosity. "A doctor." "Really, why'd you stop?" "Because I lost someone I loved, and being a doctor didn't seem important anymore." Emma considers this with 6-year-old seriousness. "My daddy left. Mommy says it wasn't my fault, but sometimes I think maybe if I was better, he'd have stayed." Benjamin sets down his mop moves to sit beside her. Carefully, respectfully, he says, "Your daddy leaving had nothing to do with you. Adults make choices that have nothing to do with kids. You're not responsible for their decisions. Did someone leave you?" "She died. My wife. In an explosion. Far away." Emma's hand, small and warm, reaches for his. "I'm sorry. That's really sad." "It is, but I have my son. Noah. He keeps me going." "Is he why you keep working?" "Even though you're sad." Benjamin looks at this child who sees too much, understands too deeply. "Yeah. He is?" Emma returns to her drawing. When she finishes, she shows him. 4 stick figures holding hands. 2 tall, 2 small. She points to each one. "That's my mom. That's me. That's you. That's Noah. Why'd you draw us all together? Because you make me not lonely. And maybe we make you not lonely too. Out of the mouths of babes." Benjamin stares at the drawing, throat tight. Emma doesn't wait for response. She tucks it into his hand. "You can keep it. for when you're sad, so you remember people care about you. Before Benjamin can respond, the service elevator dings. Noah steps out, backpack hanging off one shoulder. His eyes find his father, then Emma, and his face transforms. Not quite a smile, but close. Emma leaps up. "Noah, I was waiting for you." Noah pulls out his own drawing. A house with 4 windows and a big door. Inside the windows, stick figures. He shows Emma. She grins. "We drew the same thing. We were thinking the same." The children settle into their world, drawing, laughing, quietly existing in the space they've claimed as theirs. Benjamin watches them, and something he thought was dead stirs. Not hope, exactly. Maybe permission. Permission to imagine that connection is possible, that family can be more than biology, that broken pieces might fit together into something new. Then footsteps echo, heels clicking against concrete. Benjamin stands, professional distance reinstating itself. Victoria Campbell appears around the corner, arm in a sling from an old injury face, exhausted. She stops when she sees her daughter. "Emma, I've been looking everywhere." "Sorry, Mommy. I wanted to see Noah." Tori's eyes move to Benjamin. They've never properly met, despite 3 months of basement visits. He sees her assessment, the questions forming. "Who is this man? Why is my daughter so comfortable with him? Should I be worried?" Benjamin speaks first, voice neutral. "Miss Campbell, I'm Benjamin Hayes. I supervise when Emma visits. It's always appropriate. Public spaces only." Tori's expression softens slightly. "I know. Mrs. Chen mentioned." She relaxes when she realizes he's protective, not predatory. "I appreciate you keeping her safe. She's a good kid. So is your son Noah." Ben gestures to his boy. Noah looks up briefly, then back to his drawing. Tori sees the resemblance. Same dark hair, same serious eyes, same quiet intensity. "They seem happy together," Tori observes. They are. Lonely kids find each other. The words land between them, an acknowledgement of failure and grace combined. Tori's eyes shine briefly. She blinks it away. "I should get her home." Emma say goodbye. Emma hugs Noah, then runs to Benjamin and hugs him too. "Thank you for letting me visit, Mr. Ben. See you next Thursday." Benjamin looks at Tori. "Your mum decides that." Tori looks at her daughter's joy, at Noah's small smile, at the janitor who treats children with gentle respect. She makes a decision. "Next Thursday's fine." "Thank you, Mr. Hayes." Ben nods. "Drive safe, Ms. Campbell." They leave. The basement returns to silence. Noah looks at his father's eyes, asking questions he doesn't voice. Ben ruffles his hair. "She's nice, buddy. And Emma's your friend." "That's good." Noah pulls out fresh paper, starts drawing again. This time 5 stick figures. When he holds it up, Benjamin sees himself, Noah, Emma, Tori, and above them a figure with wings. Sarah. His son has made room for everyone. Living and dead. Past and future. All together. Benjamin keeps that drawing too. Tucks it beside the first one. Evidence that maybe possibly healing is allowed. Upstairs in her office, Tori works late. Numbers on spreadsheets tell stories of theft. She finds it. The final document. Proof that Gregory Walsh has been stealing for 3 years. She backs it up to the cloud prints copies prepares for tomorrow's confrontation. She doesn't notice the security camera in the parking garage has been disabled. Doesn't see the notification that failed to send. Doesn't know Gregory Walsh is already moving, already desperate, already dangerous. At 10 p.m., she texts Mrs. Chen. "Coming down now." 5 minutes. She gathers her briefcase. Evidence tucked safely inside. Tomorrow changes everything. Tomorrow she saves her company. Tomorrow justice wins. She has no idea that tomorrow might never come. Benjamin picks up Noah from the after-school program at 6. They walk hand in hand through streets that never quite feel safe. The bodega on the corner smells like old produce and fresh bread. They stop inside. Noah picks ingredients carefully. Pasta, sauce, garlic bread. Simple dinner. Their routine. At home, their apartment feels warmer than it is. Noah sets the table while Ben cooks. This is his job every night, the one thing he controls. 2 plates, 2 forks, 2 napkins, everything balanced. While sauce simmers, Noah draws beside the stove. His presence makes the small space feel less like a cell and more like a home. "Dad," Noah says quietly. First word in hours. "Yeah, buddy, Emma's nice." "She is. She doesn't mind that I don't talk much. Good friends don't mind. They just like being with you." Noah considers this. "Can she come over sometime?" Benjamin stirs sauce, choosing words carefully. "Maybe. Her mom's very busy, though. She told me her mom works all the time. She said she's lonely too. Out of the mouths of babes." Again. Always. Noah sees what adults miss. Ben plates pasta, sits across from his son. "We'll see, buddy. But I'm glad you have a friend. Me too." Noah twirls spaghetti. "Then, do you think Emma's mom is lonely too?" "Why do you ask?" She looked sad. Like you sometimes look. Benjamin's fork pauses mid-air. "I look sad." Noah nods, matter of fact. "When you think I'm not watching. But it's okay. I understand. You miss Mom." "I do." "But Noah, you know I'm happy with you, right? You're the best thing in my life." "I know." Noah's small hand reaches across the table. "But maybe it's okay to have other people too. Like Emma. And her mom. 7 years old, wiser than Benjamin will ever be." He takes his son's hand, squeezes. "Maybe it is okay," he admits. "Maybe." After dinner, Noah watches cartoons while Ben washes dishes. The routine is sacred, predictable, safe. But safety is an illusion. Across the city in an office on the 20th floor, safety is about to shatter. Victoria Campbell stares at the spreadsheet one more time. 3 years of theft. $17 million. Gregory Walsh's signature on documents he thought no one would trace. She has him. The board meeting tomorrow will change everything. Emma sits on the office floor, coloring. She's drawn a house with 2 families living together. When Tori asks about it, Emma says, "This is us, and Noah and Mr. Ben. All together. Wouldn't that be nice?" Mommy Tori doesn't know how to answer, so she deflects. "That's a beautiful drawing, sweetie. Did you have fun seeing Noah today?" "Yeah, he's my best friend, and Mr. Ben is really nice. He's sad a lot, but nice." "Why do you think he's sad?" Emma shrugs with 6-year-old certainty. "His wife died, like my daddy left. Different sad, but same lonely." Tori's heart cracks open. Her daughter sees too much, understands too deeply. Baby Mr. Ben isn't our responsibility. "I know, but maybe we could be his friends. Friends help each other not be lonely." Before Tori can respond, her phone buzzes. Gregory Walsh's name appears. She doesn't answer. He's calling to gauge whether she knows. She does. And tomorrow, everyone will. At 10:15 p.m., Emma falls asleep on the office couch, curled under a blanket Tori keeps for late nights. Too many late nights. Tori looks at her daughter and makes a promise to herself. After tomorrow, after the board meeting, after Walsh is arrested and the company is saved, she'll work less. Be present more. Give Emma the mother she deserves. But first, tomorrow has to come. She texts Mrs. Chen in the lobby playroom. "Coming down now. 5 minutes." She gathers her briefcase. Inside evidence that will destroy Gregory Walsh. Justice in paper form. The elevator ride down feels longer than usual. Ding. Sublevel 2. The parking garage spreads before her dimly lit shadows pooling between concrete pillars. Her heels click against the floor, echoing in the emptiness. She walks toward her car keys already in hand. She doesn't hear them coming. Doesn't see the two figures emerging from behind a van until it's too late. Ski masks, black clothes, hands reaching. Tori tries to run, but one grabs her arm, yanks her backward with violence that shocks her nervous system. Her briefcase flies. Papers scatter like white birds across concrete. Evidence everywhere and nowhere. Where are the backup files? A voice muffled but familiar. Male. Angry. Desperate. I don't. His fist catches her stomach. Air evacuates her lungs. She doubles over, gasping, the world tilting. The second man grabs her from behind, shoves her head against a concrete pillar. The impact explodes through her skull. White light, then red, then darkness creeping in at the edges. The backup files. Where are they? Tori can't answer, can't breathe, can't think. One of them raises his hand to strike again. She sees it coming. Can't move. Someone's coming. The other hisses. We need to go. Now they release her. She collapses, concrete cold against her cheek. Footsteps running, car door slamming, engine roaring. Then silence. Just her ragged breathing and the distant hum of the building's mechanical systems. She has to move, has to call for help, has to stay conscious for Emma. But darkness pulls at her seductive and insistent. Just for a moment, she thinks. Just rest for a moment. Upstairs, Mrs. Chen checks her watch. 10:35. 15 minutes. She calls Tori's phone. No answer. Worry pricks at her. Emma, sweetie, wake up. We need to find your mummy. Emma stirs, rubbing her eyes. Is Mummy done? I think so, but she's not answering. Let's go down to the garage together, okay? Stay close to me. They take the elevator. Ding. Sublevel 2. The doors open onto dimness. Mrs. Chen steps out cautiously. Emma's hand gripped tightly in hers. Miss Campbell, she calls out. Her voice echoes, returns unanswered. Then Emma sees her. Mommy! She tries to run forward, but Mrs. Chen holds her back. Stay behind me, baby. Don't touch her. Tori lies on the concrete face, bruised and swelling arm bent at an unnatural angle. Blood pools beneath her head. Papers scattered everywhere like evidence of violence and corporate crime combined. Mrs. Chen's hands shake as she pulls out her phone. Dials 911. Tries to remember first aid training she hopes she never needs. Emma stands frozen. 6 years old, watching her mother die on cold concrete. Then she remembers. Mr. Ben. Mr. Ben helped her when she fell last week. Mr. Ben knows things. Mr. Ben will know what to do. She pulls free from Mrs. Chen's grip and runs, back to the elevator, jabbing the lobby button over and over. Come on, come on, come on. The doors open. She bursts into the lobby. Heart pounding, tears streaming, terror choking her voice. She sees him. Benjamin Hayes. Grey uniform, emptying a trash can near the main entrance. Emma runs straight to him, grabs his uniform with both small hands. Mr. Ben, she sobs. They hurt my mom. She won't wake up. Please, you have to help her now. Please. Benjamin drops to one knee, his hands steady on her shoulders, everything else falling away except this child's terror. Slow down, Emma. Where is she? The garage. Sublevel 2. Mrs. Chen is with her, but she's really hurt, and Benjamin's already moving. The shift happening inside him, the transformation from invisible janitor to something else entirely. His hand finds the canvas bag under his shirt. His training surfaces like muscle memory. The security guard approaches. I called 911. Ambulance is 6, maybe 7 minutes out. 6 minutes is too long, Benjamin says. His voice different now. Sharp. Focused. Authoritative. 6 minutes might be fatal. He looks at Emma. Take me to her. Right now. Emma grabs his hand and runs. The universe holds its breath. The invisible man is about to be seen. And once seen, everything changes. Before we continue, please tell us where in the world you are tuning in from. We love seeing how far our stories travel and knowing we're all in this journey together. From New York to New Delhi, from Seattle to Seoul, your presence here matters. Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Because this story, What Happens Next, is about the power of showing up when someone needs you most. About being the person who doesn't walk away when it's easier to stay invisible. Maybe somewhere in your corner of the world you've been that person too. Maybe you've needed that person. We're all connected by these moments of courage, these acts of showing up. Now let's see what happens when a hidden hero can't hide anymore. The elevator descends. Benjamin's mind shifts into combat mode, the protocols he thought he'd abandoned flooding back. 6 to 7 minutes for an ambulance. Head trauma potential, internal bleeding, possible spinal injury. Every second matters. Every decision could mean the difference between life and death. The doors open. Emma pulls him forward. Benjamin's eyes scan automatically. Threat assessment. No attackers visible. 1 victim down. Papers scattered. No active danger, miss. Chen kneels beside Victoria Campbell, her hands hovering uselessly, terror making her freeze. She looks up when Benjamin arrives. Relief floods her face. Thank God. I don't know what Benjamin's already moving, dropping beside Tori with practiced efficiency. His hands go to her neck, checking pulse. Thready but present. Approximately 110 beats per minute. Her body compensating for blood loss. Breathing shallow, labored. Unconscious. He checks her pupils. Left one slightly dilated. Concerning. Possible intracranial bleeding. He palpates her skull gently. Laceration bleeding steadily but not arterial. He moves to her abdomen. Rigid. Defensive. Internal bleeding likely. How long has she been unconscious? His voice is clinical now. Doctor voice. A voice he hasn't used in 8 years. Maybe 5 minutes. Mrs. Chen's voice shakes. I came down and found her like this. Benjamin unzips the canvas bag across his chest. Mrs. Chen's eyes widen. Medical supplies. Military-grade trauma equipment that has no place in a janitor's possession. Call 911 back. Benjamin's hands move with precision, pulling out hemostatic gauze, a cervical collar tape. Tell them trauma patient, unconscious, significant head injury possible. Internal bleeding, suspected fractured ribs and arm. Trauma team needs to be ready. You're a janitor, Mrs. Chen says, but she's already dialing. Make the call. She does. Her hands shaking as she relays information she doesn't understand. Benjamin works. He packs the head wound with hemostatic gauze, applying pressure to stop bleeding. He checks her spine, carefully running experienced hands along vertebrae. No obvious deformity. He applies the cervical collar with practiced movements, securing it properly. Her left arm is clearly fractured. He splints it using supplies from his bag and a magazine from a nearby car. Emma stands a few feet away, watching with frightened eyes. Benjamin glances at her. Emma, I need you to be brave for your mom. Can you do that? She nods, trembling. Good girl. Come here and talk to her. Tell her you're here. Let her hear your voice. Emma moves closer, kneeling carefully. Mom, she whispers. It's me. Mr. Ben is here. He's helping you. You're going to be okay. Please be okay. Benjamin positions Tori in recovery position, protecting her airway. He covers her with his grey jacket to prevent shock. Every movement is precise, every action based on hundreds of hours of training and dozens of saves under fire. His hands remember even though his heart tried to forget. 4 minutes have passed since Emma found him. In the distance, sirens wail, getting closer. The paramedics arrive with a stretcher, 2 of them moving fast. The lead paramedic is a woman in her 40s, Dr. Elena Rodriguez, according to her badge. She takes one look at the scene and her eyebrows shoot up. "Who did first response?" "I did." Benjamin steps back, giving them room. Elena kneels beside Tori, assessing his work. Cervical collar properly applied, head wound packed correctly, arm splinted, recovery position maintained. She looks up at Benjamin, her expression shifting from skepticism to respect. "This is textbook battlefield medicine. You kept her alive." She pauses, studying him. "Military." Benjamin doesn't answer. They load Tori onto the stretcher with practiced efficiency. As they work, Elena turns back to him. "Seriously, who are you?" That was perfect technique. Just someone who knew what to do. Benjamin says quietly. A police officer arrives, notepad out. "Detective James Morrison, late 40s, tired eyes. I need statements from everyone, starting with you. Name Benjamin Carter." "No, that's wrong." He corrects himself. "Benjamin Hayes. I work here. Janitor." Morrison's pen pauses. He looks at the medical supplies scattered around, then at Benjamin's hands, steady despite what just happened. "You're a janitor who carries military trauma equipment and performs emergency medicine." "I have first aid training. The child came for help. I stabilized the victim until you arrived." Benjamin watches the ambulance pull away, lights flashing red and white against the concrete walls. Tori's unconscious face disappears into the back. Emma rides with her small hand holding her mother's. Mrs. Chen follows in a separate car. Morrison continues asking questions, but Benjamin barely hears them. He gives his name, employee number, basic facts. Nothing more. When Morrison presses for details, Benjamin says, "I did what needed doing." That's all. The detective looks like he wants to argue, but lets it go. "We'll need a full statement. Can you come to the station tomorrow?" Benjamin nods. "After my shift." As Morrison walks away, still suspicious, Benjamin turns toward the elevator. He needs to leave before anyone starts digging into who he really is, before questions become too pointed. Before the past, he's spent 8 years burying rises to the surface, but it's too late. In saving Victoria Campbell's life, he's revealed himself. The invisible man has been seen. And now, whether he wants it or not, everything is about to change. He rides the elevator back to the basement. His hands are shaking now, adrenaline crash setting in. He sits on the overturned bucket where Emma drew pictures just hours ago, closes his eyes, breathes. The photo in his wallet burns against his chest. Sarah. He saved someone tonight. For the first time in 8 years, he used his skills to save a life that mattered to someone. To Emma. That little girl who trusted him completely. His phone buzzes. The after-school program, reminding him Noah is waiting for pickup. He's an hour late. Benjamin stands, steadies himself, returns to the life he knows. But that life is ending. The universe has other plans, and Benjamin Hayes, whether he's ready or not, is about to step out of the shadows and into the light. Benjamin sits in the emergency room waiting area at midnight. Noah beside him, drawing quietly to process what he doesn't understand. The hospital smells like antiseptic and fear. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead. People move through hallways with purpose Benjamin once shared back when he wore scrubs instead of a grey uniform. Mrs. Chen finds them, her face's pale eyes red from crying. She sits heavily in the plastic chair beside Benjamin. "They're operating," she says. "Internal bleeding. Fractured skull. Broken ribs. Broken arm." The doctor said, she swallows hard. He said, "If you hadn't stabilized her, she would have died before the ambulance arrived. She'd have bled out or her airway would have closed. You saved her life." Benjamin stares at his hands. Scarred hands, surgeon's hands, janitor's hands. Hands that saved Victoria Campbell because they remembered how, even when his heart tried to forget. "Where's Emma?" he asks. "With her grandmother, flying in from Boston. Should be here in a few hours." Mrs. Chen touches his arm. "Thank you. I didn't know what to do." I froze. "But you knew exactly what to do. How did you know first aid training?" he says. The lie comes easily. Years of practice. But Mrs. Chen isn't stupid. That wasn't first aid. That was advanced trauma care, military precision. She leans closer. "Who are you really?" Before Benjamin can deflect, a doctor approaches. Young, exhausted, still in surgical scrubs. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, according to her badge. The name hits Benjamin like a fist. Sarah. Always Sarah. "Are you Benjamin Hayes?" He stands. "Yes, I'm Dr. Mitchell. I operated on Ms. Campbell. She's stable. Critical, but stable. We had to repair a grade 3 splenic laceration, control intracranial bleeding, set multiple fractures. She's in ICU now. Induced coma for the next 24 to 48 hours while the swelling reduces." "Will she live?" Dr. Mitchell's expression softens. "Because of you." "Yes, your intervention bought her the time she needed. The cervical collar prevented spinal injury. The hemostatic gauze controlled bleeding. The recovery position protected her airway." She pauses. "I've been practicing emergency medicine for 10 years. That was some of the best field medicine I've ever seen. Where'd you train?" Benjamin's jaw tightens. "Long time ago." Dr. Mitchell studies him, sees something in his eyes. "Military?" He doesn't answer. "Can I see her family only right now? But I'll make a note that you're approved. Without you, there wouldn't be a patient to visit." Dr. Mitchell extends her hand. "Thank you, Mr. Hayes. You're a hero." Benjamin doesn't shake her hand, doesn't accept the label. Heroes don't spend 8 years hiding from their calling. Heroes don't let guilt destroy them. Heroes show up. He just happened to be there. He leaves before anyone can ask more questions. Noah's hand finds his as they walk to the car. In the parking lot, under harsh orange streetlights, Benjamin brakes. He sits in the driver's seat, hands gripping the steering wheel, and for the first time in years he cries. Not silent tears, full gasping sobs that shake his entire body. Noah climbs into his lap, small arms wrapping around his neck. "It's okay, Dad. You helped her. You did good." "I was supposed to save people," Benjamin chokes out. "That's what I trained for, what I was good at." "But I couldn't save Mom." Noah finishes gently. "I know. But Dad, you can't save everyone. Even doctors can't save everyone. 7 years old. Speaking truth, Benjamin can't yet accept." They drive home in silence. Noah falls asleep in the passenger seat, head against the window. Benjamin carries him inside, tucks him into bed, kisses his forehead. Then he sits at their small table and stares at the photo he keeps face down on the dresser. For the first time in 2 years, he picks it up. Sarah's smile looks back at him. Nurse's scrubs. Standing beside him outside their field hospital in Kandahar, both so young, so certain they could save the world. "I saved someone tonight, Sarah," he whispers. "First time since you. First time I wanted to." The photo doesn't answer, but in the silence, Benjamin feels something shift. Not forgiveness, maybe permission. Permission to try again. Permission to use the skills she helped him develop. Permission to stop punishing himself for surviving when she didn't. He doesn't put the photo back face down. Leaves it upright. Small step. But steps are how journeys begin. His phone buzzes. Unknown number. He answers. Mr. Hayes, Detective Morrison. Sorry to call so late. We got Thomas Reed, one of the attackers. Picked him up fleeing the city. He's talking. Says Gregory Walsh Campbell Industries CFO hired them to scare Ms. Campbell. Stop her investigation into embezzlement. She was investigating Walsh for months. Found evidence he stole $17 million. She was presenting it to the board today. Walsh tried to silence her. Is Emma safe? We have officers at the hospital. Walsh is in the wind, but we'll find him. Morrison pauses. Mr. Hayes. I ran your fingerprints. Standard procedure for anyone involved in violent crime scenes. Benjamin's blood goes cold. Captain Benjamin Hayes, U.S. Army Medical Corps. 3 combat tours. Forward operating bases in Kandahar and Helmand Province. 27 confirmed saves under fire. Field hospital commander, distinguished service medals. One of the best trauma surgeons your unit ever had. Honorable discharge 8 years ago. Then, nothing. You disappeared. My service record is my business. Why is a decorated combat surgeon working as a janitor? That's my business too. Morrison's voice softens. Captain Hayes, I'm not your enemy, but people are going to ask questions. Press will dig. You saved a CEO's life using military medicine. They're going to want your story. I don't have a story. I did what anyone with training would do. No, you did what only someone with extraordinary training could do. Don't diminish that. Benjamin hangs up, sits in darkness. The invisible man has been seen, and now the consequences are starting. The next morning, Noah wakes first. Finds his father asleep at the table, head on folded arms, Sarah's photo upright beside him. Noah doesn't wake him, just drapes a blanket over his shoulders and gets ready for school alone. When Benjamin wakes, there's a drawing on the table. Noah's work. A man in a grey uniform, but in the background a faint white coat. And words in careful 7-year-old handwriting. My dad is a hero. Benjamin folds the drawing, puts it in his wallet beside Sarah's photo. Then he gets ready for work. Because heroes or not, invisible or seen janitors still have floors to mop. But when he arrives at Campbell Industries, everything's changed. Employees stare, whisper, someone starts clapping. Then another. Then the entire lobby erupts in applause. Benjamin Hayes stands frozen as dozens of people he's been invisible to for 3 years see him for the first time. And he has no idea how to be visible anymore. The basement becomes his refuge. Benjamin retreats to the forgotten corridors where people rarely venture, where he can work in silence without eyes tracking his every movement. But even here he's not safe. Word spreads through buildings faster than fire. Margaret Foster finds him first. Board member 62, sharp mind wrapped in grandmother warmth. She approaches carefully like he's a wounded animal who might bolt. Mr. Hayes, I wanted to thank you personally. Victoria is like a daughter to me. What you did, I appreciate the thanks, but I need to get back to work. Of course. But Benjamin, if I may call you Benjamin, you should know the board is discussing how to properly recognize your actions. No recognition necessary. I thought you might say that. Margaret sits on the overturned bucket where Emma usually draws. Tell me something. Why does a trauma surgeon work maintenance? The question hangs in the fluorescent buzz. Benjamin continues mopping, hoping she'll leave if he doesn't engage. She doesn't. I did some research this morning. Captain Benjamin Hayes. Exemplary service record. Dozens of lives saved in impossible conditions. Then 8 years ago, your wife, Lieutenant Sarah Hayes, died in an IED explosion. You finished your deployment, took honorable discharge, and vanished. No medical practice, no family contact. Just gone. Benjamin's hands tighten on the mop handle. My past isn't your concern. It is when that past saved Victoria's life. Margaret's voice gentles. You're not the only person who's lost someone, Benjamin. You're not the only one who's hidden from pain. But hiding doesn't honor their memory. Living does. You don't know anything about it. You're right. I don't know your specific pain. But I know Victoria. Know she works herself to exhaustion trying to prove she's enough. Know she's raising Emma alone because her ex-husband wanted decoration, not partnership. Know she's terrified every day that she's failing at everything. What's your point? My point is that broken people recognize each other. You saved her life not just with your medical skills, but because you understand what it means to barely hold on. That matters. Don't diminish it. Margaret leaves. Benjamin stands alone in the basement, her words echoing in the concrete silence. Broken people recognize each other. Maybe that's why Emma gravitates to him. Why Noah lights up around Emma. Why he feels something crack open when he sees Victoria's determination mixed with exhaustion. Upstairs in ICU, Victoria wakes. Confusion first, then pain, then panic. Emma, she tries to say, but her throat is raw from intubation. A nurse appears calm and professional. Ms. Campbell, you're in the hospital. You were attacked. You're safe now. Emma is safe. She's with your mother in the waiting room. Tori tries to sit up. Pain explodes through her ribs. The nurse gently restrains her. You have fractured ribs, a broken arm concussion, and surgical repairs to your spleen. You need to stay still. The attack. Memories flood back. The garage, the masks, the violence. Then nothing. How am I alive? A janitor from your building saved you. Benjamin Hayes. He stabilized you until paramedics arrived. The doctors say without his intervention, you wouldn't have made it. Benjamin. The quiet man her daughter loves. The one who supervises basement visits and teaches children things with patient hands. He saved her life. Where is he? He left last night after you went into surgery. Haven't seen him since. I need to thank him. You need to rest. The nurse adjusts her IV. Detective Morrison wants to talk to you when you're ready. About the attack. An hour later, Morrison sits beside her hospital bed, notepad out. Tori tells him everything she remembers. The two men, the ski masks, one voice familiar. Thomas Reed, she's almost certain. Gregory Walsh's assistant. Morrison nods. We have Reed in custody. He confirmed Walsh hired them. Meant to scare you, stop your investigation. Things got out of hand. Out of hand, Tori's voice breaks. They tried to kill me. I know. And we'll get Walsh. Every cop in the state is looking for him. Morrison flips his notebook. Now about Benjamin Hayes. What do you know about him? He's the janitor. My daughter visits him sometimes in the basement. He seems kind. He's more than a janitor. Morrison shows her his notes. Captain Benjamin Hayes. Army surgeon. 3 combat tours. Saved dozens of lives under fire. His wife, also military, died 8 years ago. Since then, he's been working maintenance jobs, staying invisible. Tori stares at the information. A surgeon. The gentleman who teaches Emma to whistle is a decorated war hero hiding as a janitor. Why, she asks. That's what I want to know. Morrison taps his pen. People don't go from that level of skill to mopping floors without a reason. Trauma, most likely. PTSD. Survivor's guilt. Maybe all of it. He saved my life. He did. With textbook battlefield medicine that most paramedics couldn't replicate. Morrison leans forward. Ms. Campbell, I think Benjamin Hayes has been punishing himself for 8 years for not being able to save his wife. And last night he saved you instead. Tears stream down Tori's face. Where is he now? Working. Like nothing happened. I need to see him. You need to rest. Morrison stands. I'll tell him you're asking for him. But Ms. Campbell, go easy. That man's been broken for a long time. Being a hero again might be more than he can handle. After Morrison leaves, Tori lies in the hospital bed staring at the ceiling. Benjamin Hayes, combat surgeon, widower, father, janitor, hero. A man who saved her life while hiding from his own. Emma appears in the doorway, her grandmother Helen behind her. Mommy. Emma runs to the bed, careful not to jostle her mother. You're awake, hi baby. Tori pulls her daughter close with her good arm. I'm okay. I'm here. Mr. Ben saved you. Emma's eyes shine with tears. I got him and he came, and he had special medicine, and he made you not die. He did. He saved my life. Because he's good. I told you he was good, Mommy. Emma buries her face in her mother's neck. I was so scared. I know, baby. I'm so sorry you saw that. Helen Campbell. 60 elegant, even in crisis, sits in the visitor's chair. The police updated me. Gregory Walsh orchestrated this. She shakes her head. Your father trusted that man. Dad didn't see what I saw. The irregularities. The missing money. You found it and nearly died for it. Helen's voice cracks. You and your obsession with proving yourself. Mom, not now. When then, when you work yourself to death? When Emma grows up never seeing her mother. Helen softens. Tori, you almost died. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe it's time to reassess what matters. Tori looks at Emma, still clinging to her. What matters is right here. And downstairs mopping floors is the man who made sure I could still hold her. This Benjamin Hayes. The board wants to honor him. Give him a reward. I don't think he'll accept it. Why not? Because Tori says quietly, I don't think he believes he deserves to be honored. I think he's been hiding from recognition for 8 years, and we just forced him into the light. That afternoon, Benjamin receives a summons. Margaret Foster's office. He goes reluctantly, expecting more questions he won't answer. Instead, he finds a simple thank you card. Emma's handwriting. Crayon drawings of hearts. Thank you for saving my mummy. Love, Emma. Benjamin stares at the card. Throat tight. This 6-year-old girl has given him more grace than he's given himself in 8 years. Margaret appears in the doorway. She wanted you to have that. Also wanted you to know she's asking for you. Victoria, she wants to thank you properly. Not necessary. It is to her. Margaret pauses. Benjamin? I won't push, but I will say this. You saved her life. That matters. Whether you accept recognition or not, it happened. You were a hero. You still are. And maybe it's time to stop running from that. Benjamin doesn't respond, just holds Emma's card and wonders how a child's crayon hearts can cut deeper than any medal ever could. He doesn't visit Victoria in the hospital, doesn't accept the board's invitation to a recognition ceremony, doesn't do anything except return to work, to invisibility, to the safe routine that protects him from feeling too much. But invisible isn't an option anymore. The universe has seen him. And like it or not, Benjamin Hayes is about to discover that some things once seen can never be unseen. Detective Morrison's desk is buried in files. Gregory Walsh's financials spread across every surface. A paper trail of greed and desperation. Beside them, Benjamin Hayes's military records. 2 investigations running parallel, converging on one night in a parking garage. Morrison reads through Benjamin's service record again. Kandahar 2016. Forward Operating Base Phoenix. Captain Hayes commanded a field hospital treating coalition forces and local civilians. By all accounts, brilliant surgeon. Calm under pressure. Innovative techniques. Saved lives other doctors wrote off. Lieutenant Sarah Hayes served beside him. Nurse. Partners in work and marriage. Colleagues described them as inseparable. 2 people who believed medicine transcended politics, that healing was service regardless of cost. March 2016, convoy to village clinic. Routine medical supply run. Vaccinations for children. Basic equipment, humanitarian mission. Sarah volunteered. Benjamin was scheduled for surgery, couldn't go. They argued. She went anyway. IED 4 miles out. 12 dead instantly. Sarah among them. 11 survivors brought back to Benjamin's hospital. He worked 18 hours straight, saved all 11. Perfect record. Except for the one patient who mattered most. After that, something changed. Performance remained excellent, but colleagues noted distance. Withdrawal. He finished his deployment with commendations, took honorable discharge, and vanished. No medical practice, no forwarding address, just gone. Until 3 years ago. Employment application at Campbell Industries. Janitor position. Reference from community clinic where he volunteered teaching first aid. No mention of medical background, military service, or skills worth hundreds of thousands annually. Morrison closes the file. This is a man punishing himself. This is survivor's guilt metastasized into self-exile. And last night, circumstances forced him to be who he really is. His phone rings. Officer Ramirez. We got Walsh. Tried to cross into Canada. Bringing him in now. Good. Keep him separate from Reed. I want separate statements. 2 hours later, Gregory Walsh sits in interrogation. 52 years old, silver hair, expensive suit wrinkled from 48 hours running. His lawyer beside him already earning his retainer. My client has nothing to say. Your client hired 2 men to assault Victoria Campbell. Thomas Reed already confessed. Gave us phone records, payment receipts, texts. Walsh ordered it. Walsh's facade cracks slightly. Reed's lying to save himself. Morrison slides photos across the table. Tory's injuries. Bruised face, broken arm, blood. This was supposed to be a warning. This is attempted murder. The lawyer intervenes. My client maintains innocence. Fine. Morrison pulls out different photos, financial records. 17 million moved through shell companies, fake vendors, offshore accounts, all authorized by your client. 3 years of theft. Walsh's face goes white. You can't prove we can. FBI's been helping Ms. Campbell for weeks. They have everything. The assault charge is almost secondary to the embezzlement. You're looking at 25 years minimum. The lawyer whispers urgently to Walsh. After a long moment, Walsh speaks. I want a deal. Depends what you're offering. Full confession. Everything. The theft, the assault, all of it. In exchange for reduced sentence. Morrison considers. You give us every account, every dollar, every person involved. You testify. And you plead guilty. Then maybe 15 instead of 25. Walsh looks at his hands. Expensive watch catching fluorescent light. Everything he built, everything he stole, collapsing. Deal, he says quietly. Meanwhile, Benjamin works his shift like any other day. But employees keep stopping him, thanking him, asking questions. He deflects, redirects, escapes as quickly as possible. In the basement, he finds Emma waiting. Her grandmother brought her to collect Tory's things from the office. Emma slipped away knowing where to find him. Mr. Ben. She runs to him, throws small arms around his waist. Hey, Emma, shouldn't you be with your grandmother? I wanted to see you, to thank you for saving Mommy. You already did. I got your card. But I wanted to say it in person. Emma looks up at him with earnest eyes. You're a hero. A real hero. I'm not a hero, Emma. I'm just someone who helped. That's what heroes do. They help when people need them. Emma pulls out a new drawing. This one shows Benjamin in a grey uniform, but with a superhero cape. Underneath, Mr. Ben the hero. Benjamin's vision blurs. He kneels down to her level. Emma. I need you to understand something. What I did was important, yes, but it doesn't make me special. Anyone with the right training would have done the same, but you're the one who did it. You're the one who came when I called. Emma touches his face gently. You saved my mummy. That makes you special to me. Out of the mouths of babes. Always wisdom he doesn't deserve but desperately needs. Helen Campbell appears. There you are, Emma. I've been looking everywhere. She sees Benjamin, and her expression softens. Mr. Hayes, I wanted to add my thanks. My daughter is alive because of you. I'm glad I could help. She'd like to see you. Victoria, she's asking for you specifically. I don't think... Please. Helen's voice gentle but firm. She needs to thank you. Let her do that. It matters. Benjamin looks at Emma's drawing. At this 6-year-old who sees heroism where he sees only duty. At the grandmother who's asking him to accept gratitude he doesn't believe he deserves. Maybe tomorrow, he finally says. After my shift. Helen nods. Tomorrow then. Come to ICU. Room 412. Emma, come along. Let Mr. Ben finish his work. After they leave, Benjamin sits on the bucket again, stares at Emma's drawing, a janitor with a cape, as if cleaning floors and saving lives can coexist, as if he's allowed to be both. His phone buzzes. Morrison, Walsh is in custody. Full confession. He'll plead guilty. You won't need to testify. Good. Mr. Hayes, one more thing. We recovered evidence from the scene. Ms. Campbell was investigating Walsh for months. Built an airtight case. She's a remarkable woman. She is. Seems like you two have something in common. Both determined. Both strong. Both hiding pain behind work. Detective, did you call to update me on the case or psychoanalyze me? Morrison chuckles. Little of both. See you around, Captain Hayes. And for what it's worth, what you did was extraordinary. Don't let your guilt convince you otherwise. He hangs up before Benjamin can argue. That night, Noah asks questions. Dad, are you famous now? Nobody, just did my job. People keep talking about you at school. They say you're a hero. I'm not a hero. Heroes don't hide for 8 years. Noah considers this seriously. Maybe heroes are just people who help when help is needed, even if they're scared, even if they're sad. 7 years old, wiser than Benjamin will ever be. When Noah falls asleep, Benjamin picks up Sarah's photo again. Talks to her like he hasn't in years. I saved someone, Sarah. Used everything you taught me, everything we learned together, and it worked. She's alive. The photo doesn't answer, but in the silence Benjamin feels something. Not forgiveness exactly, maybe acknowledgement, that he did good, that his skills still matter, that being a janitor doesn't erase being a doctor, and being broken doesn't mean staying broken forever. Tomorrow he'll visit Victoria Campbell. Tomorrow he'll accept her thanks even though he doesn't feel worthy. Tomorrow he'll take one small step toward the light. But tonight he sits with Sarah's memory and makes peace with the fact that he survived when she didn't. And maybe possibly that survival means something after all. Emma sits beside her mother's hospital bed, coloring with fierce concentration. Helen watches from the corner, knitting something pink and soft. The room smells like antiseptic and flowers gifts from employees and board members covering every surface. Mommy, Emma says without looking up. We need to do something really nice for Mr. Ben. We will, sweetie. Once I'm better. Not just nice. Really, really nice. He saved your life. Emma's crayon presses harder against paper. That's the most important thing anyone's ever done. Tori watches her daughter work. I know, baby. What do you think we should do? Emma shows her the drawing. Benjamin and Noah standing beside Tori and Emma. All four holding hands under a rainbow. At the top, Our family. Tori's breath catches. Emma. Mr. Ben isn't our family. But he could be. Emma's voice, matter of fact. He's lonely. We're lonely. Noah's my best friend. And you and Mr. Ben could be friends too. Grown-up friends. Grown-up friends, the kind that like each other. Emma grins. The kind that get married. Tori laughs despite everything. We just met, sweetheart. You met when I found him, but he saved you. That means you have a connection, like in princess stories. Emma returns to coloring. Plus, Noah told me his dad needs someone to love. He's been sad since his mom died. Helen speaks from her corner. Out of the mouths of babes. Mom not helping. I'm just saying 6-year-olds sometimes see what adults miss. Helen sets down her knitting. You said he's a good man. Kind to Emma. Clearly skilled. Single father raising his son alone. Sounds like someone else I know. We are not discussing this while I'm in a hospital bed with broken ribs. Fine. Helen smiles. But Emma's right about one thing. You need to thank him properly. Not just words. Something meaningful, Tori thinks. What do you get a man who saved your life but wants nothing in return? Emma pipes up. A friend. You get him a friend, because that's what he needs most. Later, after Emma and Helen leave for lunch, Tori calls Margaret Foster. I need information on Benjamin Hayes. Everything you found. Margaret arrives within the hour folder in hand. She sits carefully in the visitor's chair, mindful of Tori's injuries. Captain Benjamin Hayes. Margaret begins. Army Medical Corps. 3 tours. Forward Operating Base Phoenix in Kandahar. Ran a field hospital that treated both coalition and local patients. By all accounts, exceptional surgeon. You mentioned his wife died. Lieutenant Sarah Hayes. Nurse. Died in IED explosion during medical supply convoy. Benjamin was scheduled for surgery, couldn't go. She went instead. Margaret's voice gentles. 12 people died instantly. 11 survivors brought back. Benjamin operated on all of them. Saved every one. But not her. She was already gone. Margaret opens the folder, shows photos. Young couple in military uniform, Sarah's bright smile, Benjamin's arm around her, both so young, so certain they'd come home together. After that, something broke. He finished his deployment, took discharge, vanished. His son Noah was 6 months old when Sarah died. Benjamin raised him alone. No family support, no medical practice, just disappeared. Until he showed up here 3 years ago. As a janitor. Margaret shakes her head. This man could be making $300,000 a year as a trauma surgeon. Instead, he mops floors for $35,000 and lives in a basement apartment. Why? Because he's punishing himself. Because he believes he doesn't deserve happiness when Sarah doesn't have life. Because survivor's guilt is a prison people build in their own minds. Tori stares at the photos. This broken man saved her life. This man who can't forgive himself gave her the chance to hold Emma again. I need to see him, Tori says. Really see him, thank him, help him if I can. Be careful. Margaret closes the folder. Broken people can be fragile. Push too hard, they shatter. Don't push enough, they stay broken. What do you suggest? Give him purpose. He used his skills to save you. Remind him those skills still matter. That he still matters. How I have an idea, Margaret says, but it's going to require patience. Meanwhile, Noah visits Benjamin at work during his lunch break. They sit together in the basement, sharing sandwiches. Dad, everyone at school won't stop talking about you. I'm sorry, buddy. Don't be sorry. Noah tears his sandwich into careful pieces. I'm proud. You helped Emma's mom. That's good. It is good, but it doesn't change anything. Noah looks at him seriously. It changes Emma. She's not sad anymore, not scared, because her mom is okay. You did that. Benjamin has no response. His son sees clearly what he can't accept. Dad. Noah hesitates. Can Emma come over sometime? To our apartment. She wants to play, but also, I think she wants to see where we live. Why would she want to see that? Because she's my friend. And friends want to know each other. Benjamin considers. Our apartment is small, buddy. Not nice like her house probably is. She won't care. Noah's voice certain. Emma's not like that. She just wants to be with people who care about her. Okay. Benjamin ruffles his son's hair. We'll ask her mom. When she's better. Noah grins. Thanks, Dad. Then carefully. Maybe Emma's mom could come too. For dinner. To say thank you properly. You're scheming, aren't you? Noah's innocent expression is completely unconvincing. I don't know what you mean. Benjamin laughs. First time in days. His son, this 7-year-old matchmaker, is pushing him toward connection Benjamin doesn't know how to want yet. But maybe that's okay. Maybe being pushed is how healing starts. That evening, Emma draws another picture. This one she doesn't show anyone yet. It's 4 people at a dinner table eating spaghetti. 2 kids, 2 adults. Everyone smiling. At the top, my wish. She folds it carefully. Puts it in her backpack. Tomorrow, when she visits her mom again, she'll give it to her. And then, maybe possibly the adults will finally understand what the children already know. That family isn't just biology. That healing happens together. That sometimes the people we need most are the ones we don't expect. And that a janitor with gentle hands and a broken heart might be exactly what a CEO with fractured ribs and fierce determination needs. Tomorrow Benjamin will visit. Tomorrow he'll face Victoria Campbell and accept her gratitude. Tomorrow his carefully constructed walls will begin to crumble. But tonight, 2 children dream of families. And their dreams, unbeknownst to their hurting parents, are about to remake reality. Gregory Walsh sits in federal court orange jumpsuit, replacing expensive suits. His lawyer argues for leniency. The prosecution argues for maximum sentencing. Victoria Campbell sits in the gallery, arm still in cast bruises faded to yellow. The evidence is overwhelming. 3 years of embezzlement, 17 million stolen, shell companies traced, offshore accounts frozen, every transaction documented. Walsh authorized it all, covered it repeatedly, believed he'd never be caught. Then there's Thomas Reed's testimony. Hired to scare Victoria Campbell, make her drop the investigation, use force if necessary. Walsh's exact words recorded on Reed's phone. Make the problem go away, I don't care how. The problem nearly died on cold concrete. Judge Patricia Sanders, 58, no-nonsense, reviews the evidence with steel eyes. Mr. Walsh, she says, you stole from a company that trusted you. Then when caught, you ordered violence against a woman you'd known for years. A woman who was simply doing her job. What do you have to say? Walsh stands, face grey, hands shaking. I was desperate. The debt, the pressure. I made terrible choices. You made criminal choices. Judge Sanders doesn't blink. Embezzlement, money laundering, conspiracy to commit assault, obstruction of justice. The list goes on. Your Honor, please Walsh's lawyer tries. I've heard enough. Judge Sanders announces her verdict. Gregory Walsh. I sentence you to 25 years in federal prison, no parole for 10. Thomas Reed, 15 years for his participation. She bangs gavel. Justice delayed but not denied. Walsh crumples. Marshals lead him away. He looks at Tori once. No apology, just bitter resignation. She meets his eyes without flinching. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm. Ms. Campbell. How do you feel about the verdict? Tori stands straight despite lingering pain. Justice was served. That's all that matters. Will you return to Campbell Industries? I already have. Delegated some responsibilities, but I'm still CEO. What about the janitor who saved your life, Benjamin Hayes? Tori's expression softens. Mr. Hayes is a hero. He saved my life and wants no recognition. We respect his privacy. Have you thanked him personally? I have an opportunity to do that today, Tori says, and I'm grateful for it. She leaves before more questions come. Margaret Foster drives her back to the hospital where she's been staying under observation for complications. Are you nervous? Margaret asks. About seeing him? Terrified. Tori admits. What do you say to someone who literally saved your life? Thank you is a good start. At 4 p.m. Benjamin finishes his shift, changes into clean clothes, the only nice shirt he owns, checks himself in the bathroom mirror, looks like a janitor trying to look respectable, which is exactly what he is. Noah waits in the hallway. You look good, Dad. I look terrified. That too. Noah takes his hand. But you're brave. You saved her. Now let her thank you. They take the elevator to ICU, 4th floor, room 412. Benjamin's heart pounds. Ridiculous. He's performed surgery in active combat zones. He's saved lives with bullets flying overhead. Why is thanking conversation scarier than that? Because surgery has protocols. Gratitude doesn't. He knocks. Come in. Tori's voice calls. Benjamin enters. Noah behind him, quiet support. Victoria Campbell sits in bed, propped by pillows, wearing a hospital gown and courage. Emma sits beside her coloring. Helen stands near the window. Mr. Hayes, Tori says. Thank you for coming. Ms. Campbell. Formal. Safe. I'm glad you're recovering. Because of you. Tori gestures to the chair. Please sit. Benjamin sits. Noah settles beside Emma, who immediately shows him her latest drawing. The adults are left to navigate gratitude, neither quite knows how to give or receive. I wanted to thank you properly, Tori begins. Not just words, but... She struggles. You saved my life. How do you thank someone for that? You don't have to. Benjamin's voice quiet. I did what anyone with training would have done. No, you did what only someone with extraordinary training and compassion could do. The doctors told me... Tori's voice catches. Told me I'd have died without your intervention. Emma would have lost her mother. Because of you, she didn't. I'm glad I was there. Why were you there? Tori leans forward, wincing. Why does a decorated combat surgeon work as a janitor? Why hide skills that could save so many people? Benjamin's jaw tightens. My past is my business. Your past saved my life. That makes it my business too. Tori's voice gentle but firm. I've read your service record. I know about Sarah, about the explosion, about losing her while saving 11 others. I understand survivor's guilt, Mr. Hayes. You understand nothing. Then help me understand. Why punish yourself for 8 years? Why deny the world a talented surgeon? Because I failed. Benjamin's voice cracks. The one person who mattered most, and I failed. What right do I have to practice medicine when I couldn't save my own wife? The room goes silent. Noah's hand finds his father's. Emma watches with serious eyes. Helen speaks from the window. Mr. Hayes. I lost my husband 5 years ago. Cancer. The best oncologists in the country couldn't save him. Should they quit medicine? Should they punish themselves for not being able to cure everything? That's different, how Helen moves closer. Death isn't failure. Death is inevitable. You saved 11 people that day. 11 families didn't lose someone they loved. That's success. But Sarah would want you living. Margaret Foster enters quietly. She's been waiting in the hallway. Would want you using your gifts. Would want you happy. Benjamin stares at his hands. These hands that saved Tori. These same hands that couldn't save Sarah. I have a proposal, Tori says carefully. Not a job, not charity, a chance. I don't want hear me out. Tori takes a breath. I want to start a community health initiative, free medical care for people who can't afford it, trauma response, mental health, addiction support, services for the forgotten. That's ambitious. I can fund it. Resources aren't the problem. Expertise is. We need someone who understands trauma care, someone who knows how to save lives when everything's falling apart. Benjamin sees where this is going. No. Why not? Because I let my license lapse years ago. I haven't practiced medicine in... You practiced in my parking garage. Textbook trauma response under impossible pressure. That was emergency response, not practicing medicine. Same skills, same heart, same calling. Tori meets his eyes. I'm not asking you to be who you were. I'm asking you to be who you are. A healer, a father, a man who showed up when someone needed him. Emma climbs off the bed, carefully walks to Benjamin. She holds out a drawing. 4 people under a rainbow. Our family, she says quietly. That's what we could be, if you let us. Benjamin's vision blurs. This 6-year-old child offering him belonging he doesn't deserve. I don't know if I can, he whispers. Then try. Tori says, start small. Teach trauma response at the center. You already do that at the community clinic. Let us give you resources to do it right. And if I fail, if I freeze, if I remember Sarah, and then you try again. Tori's voice firm. That's what brave people do. They try, fail, try again. They don't hide. Benjamin looks at Noah. His son nods. You can do this, Dad. He looks at Emma, this bright child who trusts him completely. He looks at Tori, this strong woman asking him to be strong too. He looks at Margaret and Helen, 2 women who see his pain and refuse to let him stay in it. Okay, he says quietly, I'll try. Emma squeals. Noah grins. Helen dabs her eyes. Margaret smiles victoriously. Tori extends her good hand. Partners. Benjamin takes it. Partners. The grip seals more than business deal. It seals the beginning of healing. The start of something neither can name yet, but both desperately need. Justice has been served. Gregory Walsh will spend decades in prison. Thomas Reed too. Campbell Industries is safe. But more importantly, 2 broken people have found each other. And with the help of 2 wise children, they're about to discover that healing happens together. The reckoning is complete. Now comes the rebuilding. And Benjamin Hayes, for the first time in 8 years, is ready to try. Saturday evening, 6 p.m. Benjamin stands outside Victoria Campbell's house, Noah beside him, both nervous for different reasons. The house is beautiful. 3 stories, Victorian architecture, manicured lawn porch swing, moving gently in evening breeze. Everything Benjamin's basement apartment is not. This is where she lives? Noah whispers. Yeah, buddy. It's really nice. It is. Benjamin holds a cheap bouquet from the bodega Noah's drawing tucked inside. Should we go home? This was a mistake. Before Noah can answer, the front door bursts open. Emma runs out, blonde curls flying, arms wide. Noah, Mr. Ben. You came, she throws herself at Noah first. They hug with the unself-conscious joy of children who've found their person. Then she turns to Benjamin, wraps small arms around his waist. Come in. We made dinner. Well, Mommy ordered dinner, but we put it on plates, so it counts. Tori appears in the doorway, arm still in sling but smiling. "Welcome. Please come in." Inside the house is warm, lived in despite the obvious expense. Family photos everywhere. Emma's artwork covering the refrigerator. Toys in organized chaos. A home, not just a house. Benjamin feels like an intruder, his worn jeans and button-down shirt inadequate. His son's hand-me-down clothes from the church donation box, shabby in this space. But Noah doesn't seem to notice. He's following Emma upstairs, already chattering about drawings. "Can we show Noah my room?" Emma asks. "Go ahead," Tori says. "Dinner in 20 minutes. The kids thunder upstairs, leaving adults in uncomfortable silence. "Your home is beautiful," Benjamin says. "Thank you. It's too big for just two of us, but Emma loves the yard." Tori gestures toward the kitchen. "Wine. Or something else. Water's fine. Practical. I like that." In the kitchen, Tori struggles one-handed with a vase. Benjamin takes it automatically, fills it with water, arranges the flowers Noah picked. The motions feel domestic, dangerous, like he's playing house when he should be keeping distance. "Sarah used to make me practice flower arranging," he says without meaning to. "Said surgeons should have good hands in all situations." Tori goes still. "That's the first time you've mentioned her name to me." Benjamin realizes she's right. "I'm sorry." "Don't be." Tori's voice soft. "She was your wife. She's part of your story. You're allowed to talk about her. Most people get uncomfortable. I'm not most people." Tori meets his eyes. "I've read about her. Nurse. Dedicated. Believed in serving everyone who needed help. She sounds remarkable." "She was." Benjamin's throat tight. "And I think she'd like you." The words surprise both of them. Tori's eyes shine with tears. She blinks away. "That's the kindest thing anyone's said to me in years." The timer dings. Dinner ready. They call the kids down. The table is set beautifully, even with Tori's limited mobility. Italian food, Emma's choice. Garlic bread, pasta salad. Simple and perfect. Emma chatters non-stop through dinner, telling stories, asking questions, filling every silence. Noah responds more than Benjamin's heard in months. Small sentences but present, engaged, happy. Benjamin watches his son come alive and feels something crack open in his chest. This is what Noah needs. Friends, family, connection beyond the two-person island they've been living on. "You're quiet," Tori observes. "Just listening. Seeing Noah this happy." Emma has that effect. Tori smiles. She sees the good in people. Always has. She gets that from you. "I don't know about that. I've been so focused on work, on proving myself. You built a company, raised a daughter alone. That's not nothing. You raised a son alone, served your country, saved lives, saved mine. That's everything." Their eyes meet. Something passing between them. Understanding. Recognition. Two people who've survived, who've sacrificed, who've forgotten how to want things for themselves. "Mom." Emma interrupts. "Can Noah and Mr. Ben come over every week, Emma? Please, Noah's my friend, and Mr. Ben makes you smile, and you never smile at home." Tori's face flushes. Benjamin focuses very hard on his pasta. Emma doesn't notice the awkwardness she's created. Noah saves them. "Dad, can we?" "That's up to Ms. Campbell, buddy." "Tori," she corrects gently. "Please call me Tori." And yes, you're both welcome any time. "Thank you." Benjamin means it. For dinner, for everything. After dinner, kids play in the living room while adults clean up. Benjamin helps despite protests. They work in comfortable silence, passing dishes, moving around each other with surprising ease. On the porch, after coffee in hand, evening settling around them, Tori brings up the health initiative. "I've been thinking about the center, what it could be." Benjamin listens. Not just medical care, whole person care. Trauma response, yes, but also mental health, addiction support, job training, everything people need to rebuild. That's more than a health center. That's a community. Exactly. Tori's eyes light up. And we need someone who understands trauma, who knows what it means to save lives when everything's falling apart. Someone who's been there. I haven't practiced in 8 years. My license can be reinstated. Margaret's already looking into requirements. 3 months of recertification classes, pass the exams. You'd be licensed again. 3 months. Benjamin's stomach twists. I don't know if I can. Why not? Because every time I think about practicing again, I see Sarah's face. The blood. The explosion. I'm back there failing her. Tori reaches out, touches his arm gently. You didn't fail her. You survived. Those are different things, are they? Yes. Surviving isn't failure. It's what you do after surviving that matters. Tori's grip tightens. You've been punishing yourself for 8 years. Maybe it's time to stop. I don't know how. Then let me help. Let Emma and Noah help. Let the community help. Tori's voice passionate now. You don't have to do this alone, Benjamin. Healing happens together. Inside, the kids have found the kids' movie channel. Their laughter drifts out through the window. So much joy in that sound. Sarah believed medicine was service, Benjamin says quietly. That we had an obligation to help whoever needed it, regardless of politics or money or convenience. She was right. The day she died, there was a convoy to a village clinic. Vaccinations for kids. Basic supplies. She volunteered. I was scheduled for surgery. Couldn't go. We argued. Benjamin's hands grip his coffee mug. She said if we only help when it's safe, what's the point? She was right about that too. So I let her go, and the IED killed her instantly, along with 11 others. They brought the survivors back to my hospital. I operated on all of them. Saved everyone. He looks at Tori. I saved 11 people but couldn't save my wife. What kind of surgeon does that make me, a human one? Tori's voice cracks. A grieving one. A father who needed to survive for his son. Benjamin hadn't thought of it that way. You survived for a reason. Not because you deserved it more than Sarah, but because Noah needed you. And maybe so Emma and I could survive too. That's not a burden, Benjamin. It's a gift. The words hang between them. Gift. Second chance. Permission to live fully instead of half alive in shadows. Okay, Benjamin says finally. I'll do it. The recertification, the center, all of it. Really, Tori's face transforms with hope. Really. For Sarah's memory. For Noah. For... He trails off. For yourself, maybe. Benjamin meets her eyes. And maybe for you. The moment stretches. Something building neither is ready to name. Then Noah appears at the window. Dad, Emma wants to show me her room. Can I see? Of course, buddy. The spell breaks, but the connection remains. Benjamin and Tori. Two broken people starting to fit their fractured pieces together into something new. As they leave that night, Emma hugs Benjamin tight. Thank you for coming, Mr. Ben. Thank you for inviting us. Next Saturday, too. Benjamin looks at Tori. She nods. Next Saturday, too, he confirms. Noah takes his hand as they walk to the car. I like it here, Dad. Me too, buddy. Me too. On the drive home, Benjamin thinks about what Tori said. Healing happens together. Maybe she's right. Maybe he's been trying to carry his grief alone for too long. Maybe possibly it's time to share the weight. Sarah's photo is still upright on his dresser. When he gets home, he talks to it. I met someone, Sarah. Someone who makes me want to try again. I think you'd like her. I think you'd want me to be happy. The photo doesn't answer. But in the silence, Benjamin feels something like permission, like his late wife saying, "Live, Benjamin. Stop dying with me. Live." That night, Noah draws a new picture. 4 people under a rainbow, but this time a 5th figure hovering above them with wings. Sarah blessing the family forming below. Benjamin keeps that drawing on the refrigerator. Reminder that past and future can coexist. That loving Tory doesn't erase Sarah. That he can honor what was while building what will be. The first dinner is over, but it's the beginning of something neither expected and both desperately need. A family forming from broken pieces. And for the first time in 8 years, Benjamin dares to hope that broken might not be permanent. 2 weeks later, Tory calls Benjamin to discuss the health center. They meet at a coffee shop near the proposed location. Rundown neighborhood, boarded windows, but good bones. Potential everywhere if you know how to look. "This is it," Benjamin asks. "Empty medical building. Owners willing to lease cheap for community use." Tory's eyes scan the structure. Needs work, but it's perfect. Central location, accessible by public transit, big enough for everything we need. They walk through together. Dust covers everything. Broken windows. Graffiti on walls. But Benjamin sees past the decay. Sees waiting room here, exam rooms there, trauma bay with direct ambulance access upstairs for therapy and group counseling. You're visualizing, Tory observes. Can't help it. It's what I do. Or did. Still do. Tory touches his arm. "This is who you are, Benjamin." "Doctor. Healer. You can't erase that. I tried for 8 years. How'd that work out?" "Terribly." He smiles, small but real. "But I think I'm ready to stop trying." "Good. Because we need you. I need you." Tory catches herself. "For the center. The community needs you." The air between them charges with something neither is ready to acknowledge. They break eye contact, return to discussing logistics. Over the next month, dinner at Tory's house becomes routine. Every Saturday, sometimes Wednesdays too. Benjamin and Noah show up with flowers or drawings. Emma and Noah disappear to play. Adults talk, plan, dream about the center and what it could become. Emma and Noah are co-conspirators now, whispering schemes, giggling over secret plans. Benjamin and Tory pretend not to notice, but they see everything. Their children are matchmaking with 6- and 7-year-old subtlety, which is to say, no subtlety at all. One evening, Tory cooks. Actually cooks. Disaster in progress. Smoke alarm going off. Benjamin rescues the burning chicken, laughing harder than he has in years. "I'm a terrible cook," Tory admits, waving a towel at the alarm. "You're a brilliant CEO. Can't be good at everything." Emma appears. "Mommy burned dinner again." "Afraid so, sweetie." "Can Mr. Ben cook?" "I can," Benjamin confirms. "Then he should cook." Emma beams like she solved world hunger. So Benjamin cooks while Tory sits on the kitchen counter watching him work. They talk about everything and nothing. His time in Kandahar, her father building the company, Sarah's laugh, Emma's birth, Noah's selective mutism, the divorce that freed Tory but left scars. Hours pass like minutes. The chicken disaster becomes inside joke. Emma and Noah eat sandwiches instead. Nobody minds. After dinner, kids asleep during a movie, Tory and Benjamin sit on the porch. October evening, cool breeze, stars visible above city lights. "I want to start the center in January," Tory says. "Give you time for recertification." "That's ambitious. I'm an ambitious person. I've noticed." Benjamin's smile is warm. "It's one of the things He stops. "One of the things you..." "What? Nothing." "Never mind." "Benjamin." Tory turns to face him. "We've been doing this dance for months. You know it, right?" He knows. God help him, he knows. Every look, every touch, every moment that lingers too long. He's falling for Victoria Campbell and has no idea how to handle it. I'm terrified, he admits. Of what? Of this? Of wanting something again? Last time I wanted something, last time I loved someone, she died. I'm not her. Tori's voice gentle. And you're not the same man you were 8 years ago. So I'm broken now. We're both broken. Tori moves closer. But maybe broken pieces fit together in new ways. They're inches apart. Benjamin's hand reaches up, touches her face. Tori leans into the touch, eyes closing. Then Emma's voice from inside. Are they kissing yet? Noah, not yet, but soon. Both adults jump apart. The kids are supposed to be asleep. You two are terrible spies. Tori calls, giggling from inside. Then footsteps running upstairs. Benjamin laughs, tension broken. They're not wrong, though. About us, about... He struggles for words. About the fact that there's an us forming, whether we're ready or not. Are you ready? No. Benjamin's honesty raw. But I'm tired of not being ready. Tired of hiding. Tired of living half a life because I'm scared. What are you scared of most? Losing you. Losing this. Having happiness and watching it explode just like before. Tori takes his hand. I can't promise nothing bad will happen. Life doesn't work that way. But I can promise I'll show up. Every day. Through whatever comes. I want to believe that. Then try. Tori squeezes his hand. Be brave enough to try. Benjamin looks at this remarkable woman. CEO, mother survivor. Someone who sees his broken pieces and doesn't run. Someone who makes him want to be whole again. Okay, he whispers. I'll try. They don't kiss that night. But the promise hangs between them. Soon. When he's ready. When fear becomes smaller than hope. Inside, Emma and Noah high-five silently. Operation Get Them Together is proceeding exactly as planned. 3 months after the attack, Thomas Reed's trial concludes. He pleads guilty, accepts his 15-year sentence. Gregory Walsh has already started serving his 25 years. Justice slow but certain. Tori attends Reed's sentencing. Needs to see this chapter close. Benjamin goes with her silent support. They sit in the gallery while Reed makes his statement. I'm sorry, Ms. Campbell. I was desperate for money. Walsh offered a lot. I didn't mean for it to go so far, but it did go that far, the judge responds. You beat a woman nearly to death. Intention doesn't erase action. Reed is led away. Tori exhales slowly. It's done. It's done, Benjamin confirms. How do you feel? Relieved. Angry. Grateful. She looks at him. Mostly grateful. Because you were there. Because I survived. Because I get to build something good from something horrible. Outside the courthouse, Margaret Foster waits. Board's approved funding. $5 million initial investment for the health center. More available as needed. Tori hugs her, careful of lingering injuries. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you for turning trauma into purpose. Margaret looks at Benjamin. And you, Dr. Hayes, your medical license came through this morning. Benjamin's heart stops. What recertification board approved? You passed every exam. Top marks across the board. You're officially licensed to practice medicine in this state. He wasn't expecting this for another week. The news hits him like a physical blow. Doctor. He's a doctor again. After 8 years of being invisible, he has the right to save lives officially. Tori touches his arm. You did it. I did it. Benjamin can barely process it. I'm a doctor again. You never stopped being one, Margaret says gently. Now it's just official. That night, Benjamin tells Noah. His son whoops with joy, throws arms around him. I'm so proud of you, Dad. Thanks, buddy. Does this mean we can help more people at the center? Yeah, it means we can help a lot more people. Noah pulls out a drawing he's been working on secretly. The health center building, but with people streaming in and out. Above it, my dad's hospital. Benjamin stares at the drawing. His son believes in him so completely, trusts that he can do this, be this, save people again. Can I ask you something, Dad? Anything. Do you think Mom would be proud? Benjamin's throat closes. I think she'd be over the moon, buddy. I think she'd be so proud she'd be unbearable about it. Noah grins. Will you tell her? When you talk to her picture, I will. Benjamin promises. Tonight. And he does. That night, sitting at the small table, Sarah's photo upright beside him. Benjamin talks to his late wife. I'm a doctor again, Sarah. Got my license back. Going to run a community health center. Help people who have nowhere else to go. Just like we used to do in Kandahar. Just like you always wanted. He pauses. There's someone. Her name's Victoria. Tori. She's remarkable. Strong, compassionate, driven. CEO who wants to use her resources to help people. And I think I'm falling for her. The photo doesn't judge. Benjamin never expected it to. I want your permission, he says quietly, to love her, to move forward, to stop living in the past. I need to know it's okay. Silence, but in the silence, Benjamin feels peace. Feels like Sarah's saying what he needs to hear. Live Benjamin. Love. Be happy. Honor me by being whole. He places the photo gently beside Noah's drawing. His past and his future, side by side. Both honored. Both loved. Both possible. The next evening, Tori invites him over. Just the two of them. Emma's at a friend's house, Noah with his babysitter. Adult time. Intentional. Benjamin arrives nervous. Flowers in hand. Tori answers the door in casual clothes, hair down, beautiful in ways that make his chest ache. Come in, I made dinner. You cooked, God no, but I got really good takeout and transferred it to nice dishes. That counts, right? Absolutely. They eat on the porch, watching sunset paint the sky orange and pink. Talk flows easily now. Months of friendship building toward something more. After dinner, wine in hand, stars emerging. Tori says what they've both been thinking. I don't want to just be your friend, Benjamin. His heart pounds. What do you want, this? Tori gestures between them. Us. Whatever we're becoming. I want to stop pretending we're just colleagues or friends when we both know it's more. I'm scared, he admits. I know. Me too. Tori sets down her wine. But I'm tired of being scared. Tired of letting fear decide what I do. I want to choose joy for once. Choose possibility. Choose you. Benjamin stands, pulls her up with him. They're close now, breathing the same air. His hand finds her waist. Hers touches his chest, feels his heart racing. I haven't kissed anyone since Sarah, he confesses. I haven't wanted to kiss anyone in years. Tori's voice barely a whisper. Until you. Then he does. Bridges the distance. Kisses her gently, testing, asking permission. She answers by kissing him back deeper. Sure. 8 years of loneliness melting away. 2 broken people finding wholeness in each other. When they break apart, both breathless, Benjamin laughs. Wow. Yeah, Tori grins. Wow. So we're doing this. The kids are going to be insufferable about it. Oh, absolutely. Tori laughs. They've been scheming for months. They'll think they're responsible. They kind of are, Benjamin admits. Without Emma running to me that night, without Noah opening up around her, we wouldn't be here. Then thank God for wise children. Tori kisses him again, this time less tentative, more certain. This is happening. They're happening. That night, driving home, Benjamin calls Noah's babysitter to check in. Everything's fine, she reports. He's drawing. Happy. Tell him I'll be home soon, and that I have good news. When he gets home, Noah's still awake, waiting. Dad, you're smiling really big. What happened? Benjamin sits beside his son. I kissed Tori. Finally, Noah launches himself at his father. I was wondering when you'd do it. You were Emma, and I have been waiting forever. We even made a chart. A chart of when we thought you'd kiss. I said tonight. Emma said next week. I win. Benjamin laughs so hard, tears stream down his face. His son, this matchmaking genius. What am I going to do with you? Love me and be happy. Noah says it simply. That's what Mom would want. Out of the mouths of babes. Always. Forever. The wisdom Benjamin needs when he needs it most. That night he sleeps better than he has in 8 years, because he's not alone anymore, because broken pieces have found each other, because love, it turns out, is possible even after tragedy, especially after tragedy. Tomorrow he starts recertification classes. Tomorrow he becomes Dr. Hayes officially. Tomorrow he builds a new life. But tonight he sleeps wrapped in hope. And for the first time since Sarah died, hope doesn't feel like betrayal. It feels like healing. And healing, he's learning, is the bravest thing broken people can do. Monday morning, 9 a.m., Benjamin sits in a classroom with doctors half his age. Continuing education. Students, returning practitioners, and him, the combat surgeon who vanished for 8 years. The instructor, Dr. Ramon Garcia, reviews the attendance list. Captain Hayes. Welcome back to medicine. Thank you. Benjamin keeps his voice neutral. Just want to refresh my skills. Modest. Dr. Garcia smiles. Your record suggests you could teach this class. The other students turn to look. Benjamin shrinks from the attention. This is why he avoided official channels, why he stayed invisible. Being seen means being questioned. The first exam covers anatomy. Basic but essential. Benjamin's hands shake holding the pencil, not from lack of knowledge, from fear of failure. What if 8 years erased what he knows? What if he can't do this anymore? He closes his eyes, breathes, hears Sarah's voice from memory. You know this, Benjamin. Your body knows. Trust yourself. He opens his eyes, begins. The questions are muscle memory. Answers flow. An hour later, he finishes first. Results come back next day, 98%. Top of class. Benjamin stares at the score. His hands remember what his mind doubted. He can do this. He is still a doctor. Bones deep, undeniable. Week 3 brings practical simulations. Trauma scenarios. Mannequins with combat injuries. Timed responses. Benjamin's turn comes. Patient has gunshot wound to abdomen, significant blood loss going into shock. You have 2 minutes. Go. Benjamin's hands move on instinct. Check airway. Control bleeding. Establish IV line. Assess for internal damage. Package for transport. Every movement precise, practiced, perfect. Then the mannequin's face becomes Sarah's, blood pooling like that day, her eyes staring, unseeing. The explosion replaying in his mind. His hands freeze. Can't move. Can't breathe. PTSD flashback hitting like a tidal wave. Dr. Hayes' time's running. Garcia's voice distant. Benjamin can't respond. He's back in Kandahar. Back in that moment when everything shattered. Sarah's blood on his hands. Her last breath. His failure. Stop clock. Everyone out. Garcia clears the room. Benjamin sits on the floor, head in hands, gasping. The flashback recedes slowly, leaving him shaking and ashamed. His phone rings. Tori. As if she sensed he needed her. "Hey, how's training?" Benjamin tries to answer. "Can't." His voice breaks. "Ben, what's wrong?" Had a flashback. During simulation. Saw Sarah. Couldn't finish. Tori's voice gentle, immediate. "Where are you?" "Classroom. Everyone's gone. I'm alone." "Stay there. I'm coming." "You don't have to." "I want to." 20 minutes. She hangs up. Benjamin sits in the empty classroom feeling like he failed again. Can't even complete a simulation without falling apart. How is he supposed to save real patients? Tori arrives in 15 minutes, not 20, finds him still on the floor. She sits beside him without a word. Just presence. Just being there. "I can't do this," Benjamin says. "Every time I try, I see her." The blood. The explosion. I'm back there failing her all over again. "You're not failing." Tori's hand finds his. "You're processing trauma. That's not failure, that's being human. But if I can't get through a simulation, then you try again, and again. Until you can." Tori's voice firm. "You've been avoiding this for 8 years. Your brain needs time to catch up to your heart. What if I never get there? Then we figure something else out. But I don't believe that. I've seen you save a life under worse conditions than any classroom. You have this. You just have to fight through the fear." Benjamin looks at her. This woman who believes in him more than he believes in himself. "What if I let you down?" "Impossible." Tori smiles. "You've already exceeded every expectation. Everything after this is bonus." He kisses her. Right there on the classroom floor, grateful, desperate, clinging to her strength when his own falters. When they break apart, Tori says, "Go back in there. Try the simulation again. I'll wait outside. What if I freeze again? Then you try tomorrow, but try today first." Benjamin stands, shaky but determined. He finds Dr. Garcia in the hallway. "Can I attempt the scenario again?" Garcia studies him. Most people would quit after a flashback like that. "I'm not most people." "No, you're not." Garcia opens the door. "Whenever you're ready." Benjamin enters. The mannequin waiting. Same scenario, same 2-minute clock. But this time Tori's words echo. Fight through the fear. The clock starts. Benjamin's hands move. Check airway. Control bleeding. IV line. Assessment. The mannequin's face starts to blur into Sarah's. But he doesn't stop. Doesn't freeze. Pushes through the memory. "You're not Sarah," he tells the mannequin. "You're someone who needs help. And I'm going to help you." He finishes the scenario. 90 seconds. Perfect technique. The clock stops. Garcia nods. "Welcome back, Doctor." Benjamin exits, finds Tori waiting. She sees his face, knows immediately. "You did it, I did it." She hugs him hard. "I'm so proud of you. Couldn't have done it without you. Yes, you could. But I'm glad you didn't have to." That evening, Noah greets him at home with excitement. "Dad, how was school hard?" "But good." Benjamin sits beside his son. "I had a moment where I almost gave up, but someone helped me remember why I'm doing this." Tori, "Yeah, and you, and everyone who believed in me." Noah pulls out a drawing. Dr. Dad saving people. Stick figures, crayons, pure love in every line. This is for the center, for your office. So you remember you're a hero. I'm not a hero, buddy. You are to me. Noah's voice certain. And to Emma. And to her mom. And to all the people you're going to help. Benjamin keeps that drawing. Frames it. Hangs it in the apartment where he sees it every morning. Reminder of why he's fighting through the fear. Why failure isn't an option. Why being brave matters. The recertification program continues. 10 more weeks. Exam simulations, practical training. Benjamin passes everything. Not always easily, not without moments of panic, but he passes. Tori comes to every major exam, waits in the hallway. Her presence alone is enough. Knowing someone believes in him, knowing he's not alone in this fight. 3 months after that first day, Benjamin receives official notification. Medical license reinstated. Dr. Benjamin Hayes certified to practice medicine in the state. Full privileges, no restrictions. He stares at the license. His name, his credentials, the right to save lives officially restored. That night he takes Noah and Tori and Emma to dinner. Celebration. The kids get dessert first, breaking every parenting rule. Nobody cares. To Dad, Noah raises his juice box. To Ben, Tori raises her wine. To New Beginnings, Benjamin raises his water. And to the people who make them possible. They toast. Family officially and unofficially. Bound by love and loss and the courage to try again. The license is official, but more importantly, Benjamin Hayes is officially back from the dead. The invisible man is visible. The broken surgeon is healing. The father hiding in shadows is standing in light. And it's terrifying and beautiful and exactly what Sarah would have wanted. What he wants. What Noah deserves. What Tori and Emma give freely. Tomorrow, the real work begins. Building the health center. Saving lives. Being the doctor he was always meant to be. But tonight, he celebrates being seen. Being whole. Being loved. And for the first time in 8 years, Benjamin Hayes is exactly where he needs to be. The health center location stands empty, waiting. Benjamin and Tori visit every week, planning, dreaming, sketching possibilities on graph paper. The architect follows them through dusty rooms, taking notes on vision that's bigger than walls. Waiting room here, Benjamin gestures. Open, not sterile. Comfortable chairs, natural light. No one should feel like a number. Play area for kids, Tori adds, because children come with parents and waiting is hard. The architect sketches. Benjamin walks to where exam rooms will be. Glass fronts. See-through, so patients never feel trapped. Privacy concerns, the architect asks. Curtains when needed. But the option for transparency matters. Trust matters. They move upstairs. Benjamin's excitement building with every room. Therapy spaces, group counseling, addiction support, mental health integration. Because trauma isn't just physical. This is ambitious, the architect says. Not just a clinic. Full-service community center. That's the point. Tori's voice firm. People don't need band-aids. They need comprehensive care. The whole person, not just the injury. Benjamin looks at her, admiration plain on his face. She sees people the way he does, the way Sarah did. Every person deserving dignity, care, wholeness. What about the roof, the architect asks. Benjamin climbs the stairs, emerges onto flat rooftop. City skyline visible, morning light, golden, space waiting. Garden, he says immediately. Healing space. Somewhere peaceful. Because recovery isn't just medical. The architect nods, sketching faster. This is good, really good. After the architect leaves, Benjamin and Tori stand on the roof. Wind carries city sounds. Below them, the neighborhood that will be transformed. You're building something beautiful, Tori says. We're building something beautiful. Benjamin corrects. This is as much yours as mine. No, this is your vision. I'm just providing resources. You're providing belief. That matters more than money. They stand close. Not quite touching, but orbiting each other like binary stars. After the first kiss weeks ago, they've been careful. taking it slow, both aware that moving too fast could shatter something fragile. But careful is getting harder. Benjamin Torrey says, "What are we doing?" "Building a health center." "You know what I mean." He does. Can I be honest? Always. I think about you constantly. When I'm not with you, I wish I was. When I am with you, I don't want to leave. His voice drops, but I'm terrified of what that means. Because of Sarah, because I don't know how to do this. Be with someone, love someone, without waiting for tragedy. Torrey touches his face. I can't promise tragedy won't come. Life doesn't work that way. But I can promise I'll be here for whatever comes, good or bad. I'm all in, Benjamin. I don't deserve— Stop! Torrey's voice sharp. Stop saying you don't deserve happiness. You've paid enough penance. Sarah wouldn't want this. The guilt, the self-punishment. She'd want you living. How do you know what Sarah would want? Because I'm a mother. And if something happened to me, I'd want Emma to remember me with joy, not guilt. I'd want her to live fully, love completely, be happy. Sarah would want that for you too. Benjamin's eyes burn. You're right. She would. Then let her go. Not forget her. Let her rest. Let yourself live. They kiss. Soft at first, then desperate. Months of careful restraint breaking. His hands in her hair, her arms around his neck. The roof, the city, everything fading except this. When they break apart, both breathless, Benjamin laughs. The kids are going to be insufferable. Oh, completely. Torrey grins. They'll plan the wedding before we have a second date. Second date. This is our 5th, 6th if you count the hospital visit. We're doing this backward. We're doing this perfectly. Torrey kisses him again. For us. On our timeline. No one else's. Over the next month, construction begins. The building transforms, walls painted calming blues and greens, exam rooms created, therapy spaces designed, the roof garden planted with flowers that bloom year-round. Benjamin involves Noah, brings him to the site after school. They wear matching hard hats. Noah draws pictures of what the center will become, tapes them to walls where workers see his vision. Emma comes too, usually. Torrey brings her after ballet. The kids explore together, imagining patients who'll be helped, lives that will change. One afternoon, Emma finds Benjamin reviewing blueprints. "Mr. Ben, can I ask you something?" "Of course, sweetheart. Do you love my mom?" The question stops him cold. Emma waits patiently, 6 years old, but already understanding the weight of the conversation. "I do," Benjamin says honestly. "Very much." "Good," Emma grins. "Because she loves you too." "She told Grandma." "She did, yep. Said you make her happy. That she hasn't felt this way in forever." Emma leans closer conspiratorially. "Also, she bought a new dress for your next date. That means she really likes you. Out of the mouths of babes." Benjamin laughs. "Can I tell you a secret, Emma?" "Okay, I bought new clothes too. A nice shirt. Because I really like your mom." Emma squeals. "Then you should get married." "Slow down. We're still figuring things out. But you're figuring together. That's what matters." Emma hugs him. "I'm glad you love each other. It means we'll all be a family." After she skips away, Benjamin sits with the weight of her words. Family. 4 people who found each other through tragedy and choice. Not biology, but something stronger. Chosen family. That evening, Torrey finds him alone in what will be his office, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the street, his desk facing outward so he always sees the community he serves. "Penny for your thoughts." Thinking about what Emma said today. About family. She asked if you love me, didn't she? Benjamin turns. "How do you know?" "Because she asked me the same thing this morning." Torrey moves closer. "What did you tell her?" "The truth. That I do." Benjamin's voice steady. Love you, more than I expected, more than I thought possible after Sarah. Tears stream down Tori's face. I love you too. I've been terrified to say it. Afraid it's too soon, too fast, too much. How can it be too much when it's exactly right? They stand in the empty office, surrounded by possibility. The health center taking shape. Their lives taking shape. Everything building toward something beautiful. I want this to work, Tori whispers. Us, the center, all of it, it will. Benjamin pulls her close. We'll make sure it does. That night over dinner with the kids, Emma makes an announcement. Noah and I made something. She pulls out a poster. Hand-drawn crayons and markers, beautiful in its childish enthusiasm. Hayes Campbell Community Health Center, where healing happens. You changed the name, Tori observes. Yep. Emma beams. Because it's both of you. Together. A family name. Benjamin looks at Tori, sees her tears, her hope, her love written plain. He looks at the kids, these wise souls who see what adults take years to recognize. I like it, he says. Hayes Campbell. Together. Me too, Tori agrees. Together. The poster goes up first thing in the new building. Not the official name, but the true one. A center built by broken people for broken people. Where healing happens not despite pain, but because of shared understanding. 3 months until opening day. 3 months to finish construction, hire staff, prepare for the community that needs them. But more importantly, 3 months for Benjamin and Tori to build their own foundation. Love growing from tragedy. Family forming from choice. Hope emerging from darkness. And Emma and Noah watching from the sidelines, high-fiving their success. Operation Get Them Together nearly complete. Just one more step needed. The wedding. But first, the proposal. And those two matchmaking geniuses already have a plan. December 15th. Mail day. Benjamin opens the official envelope with hands that still shake from hope and fear mixed together. Inside his medical license. Restored. Valid. Dr. Benjamin Hayes authorized to practice medicine. Noah watches from the doorway. What's it say, Dad? It says... Benjamin's voice cracks. It says, I'm officially a doctor again. Noah whoops, launches himself at his father. Hard enough to knock them both over. They land laughing on the floor of their small apartment. I knew you could do it. I told everyone at school you did. Yeah. They didn't believe me at first, but I said my dad is the smartest person ever, and now you proved it. Benjamin holds his son, this 7-year-old, who never doubted, who believed even when Benjamin couldn't believe in himself. We need to celebrate, Noah says. Can we call Tori and Emma? Absolutely. The phone call turns into dinner invitation. Tori's house, 6 p.m. she's cooking. Actually cooking, she insists. No takeout. Should I be worried? Benjamin asks. Probably. But it's the thought that counts. That evening they arrive to find Tori in the kitchen surrounded by smoke and chaos. The smoke alarm screams. Emma stands on a chair waving a towel. Mom burned the chicken again. I didn't burn it. I overcooked it. Significantly. Tori turns flour in her hair, looking adorable and flustered. Benjamin crosses to her, takes the smoking pan, sets it aside. Then he kisses her forehead. You tried. That's what matters. I wanted tonight to be special. It is special, because we're together. Emma jumps down from her chair. Can Mr. Ben cook instead? I'll handle it. Benjamin rolls up his sleeves. Tori, sit. You're the guest of honor. I'm the host who burned the chicken. Sit. She sits, watches him work. Efficient movements, salvaging what he can, improvising the rest. Noah helps washing vegetables, setting the table. Emma provides commentary. Dinner ends up perfect despite the rocky start. Baked chicken, redone roasted vegetables. Garlic bread. Simple and warm. During dessert, store-bought cake because no one's risking baking. Tori makes a toast. To Benjamin, to Dr. Hayes, who proved that second chances are real, that courage exists, that broken people can become whole. Noah raises his juice. To Dad, Emma joins. To Mr. Benjamin's throat tight. To all of you. For believing when I couldn't. They eat cake. Kids disappear to play upstairs, leaving adults at the table. How does it feel? Tori asks. Having the license back? Terrifying. Exciting. Like I can breathe again. You can do this. I know. Because you believe in me. Benjamin takes her hand. Because Noah believes in me. Because Emma drew me in a white coat months before I earned the right to wear one. Kids see truth adults miss. They do. Benjamin squeezes her hand. Thank you. For pushing me. For not letting me hide. Thank you for being brave enough to try. They sit in comfortable silence. The house warm around them. The kids' laughter drifting down. Everything Benjamin thought he'd lost here in different form. I should go. Let you rest. Or you could stay. Watch a movie. The kids would love it. Tori, if I stay, we'll fall asleep on the couch watching kid movies. Nothing scandalous. Tori's eyes soften. Just family time. Family. The word still catches him off guard. But it fits. These four people, this makeshift constellation of chosen love. Okay, we'll stay. They watch animated movies, kids on the floor, adults on couch. Emma falls asleep first, curled against her mother. Noah follows head-on Benjamin's lap. Neither adult moves, not wanting to disturb the peace. Around midnight, Benjamin carries Noah to the car. Tori walks them out, Emma sleeping in her arms. This was perfect, Tori whispers. It was. Same time next week, wouldn't miss it. They kiss goodnight. Soft, sweet, full of promise. Then Benjamin drives home with his sleeping son and a heart that feels 3 sizes larger. In bed that night, Noah mumbles, Dad. Yeah, buddy, I love Tori and Emma. Like family. Me too, buddy. Me too. Noah falls back asleep. Benjamin lies awake, staring at the ceiling. He loves Tori. He loves Emma. They love him and Noah back. What they're building is real. He picks up his phone. Texts Tori. Thank you for tonight. For everything. I love you. Her response comes immediately. I love you too. Sleep well, Dr. Hayes. Dr. Hayes, his new old identity. The man he was evolving into the man he's becoming. Surgeon and janitor and father and partner all at once. Sarah's photo watches from the dresser. Benjamin talks to her like he does every night now. I got my license back, Sarah. I'm a doctor again. And I'm in love. Her name's Victoria. I think you'd like her. Actually, I know you would. The photo doesn't answer. But in the silence, Benjamin feels peace. Feels like Sarah saying, good. Be happy. Live the life I can't. He falls asleep, wrapped in gratitude. Tomorrow, the center work continues. Tomorrow, he moves closer to opening day. Tomorrow, he lives the life he thought he'd lost forever. But tonight, he rests. Held by love, hope, and the belief that broken can become whole. That endings can become beginnings. That sometimes, just sometimes, tragedy is the doorway to grace. And Benjamin Hayes, doctor and father and man who learned to hope again, steps through that doorway without looking back. January 15th. Opening day. Hayes Campbell Community Health Center stands ready. Fresh paint. New equipment. Staff hired and trained. Waiting room filled with comfortable chairs, natural light streaming through windows. Children's play area in the corner. Everything Benjamin imagined now real. The ribbon stretches across the front entrance. Media gathered, community members waiting, city officials present. This matters. To everyone. Margaret Foster speaks first. This center represents what healthcare should be. Accessible, compassionate, focused on healing. Not profit, but purpose. Applause. Benjamin stands in his white coat. First time in 8 years outside training. It fits like coming home. Tori introduces him. Dr. Benjamin Hayes served 3 combat tours, saved countless lives under impossible conditions. Then life threw him a curveball. He lost his wife, lost his way, spent years believing his skills didn't matter anymore. Benjamin's throat tightens. This is his story. Public. Exposed. Everything he spent years hiding. But something happened. Tori continues. A little girl needed help. And Dr. Hayes showed up. Saved a life. Remembered who he was. Her voice cracks. He saved my life. Then he saved his own by choosing to live again, to serve again, to heal again. She turns to him. This center exists because one man refused to stay broken, because he chose courage over comfort. Please welcome Dr. Benjamin Hayes. Benjamin approaches the microphone. Emma and Noah stand in front, holding the ceremonial scissors together. His family. Official and chosen. 8 years ago he begins. Voice shaking but steady. I stopped being a doctor. Not because I lost my skills, because I lost my purpose, lost faith that I could save anyone who mattered. He sees Tori. Steady. Believing. But someone showed me that purpose isn't about saving everyone. It's about showing up for whoever needs you. About being present. About trying even when you're scared. His hand rests on Emma's shoulder. Noah leans against his other side. This center is for everyone who's been invisible. Everyone who's been told they don't matter. Everyone who's given up hope. You matter. You deserve care. And we're here for you. He takes the scissors. Emma and Noah's hands on his. Together they cut the ribbon. The doors open. First patient enters immediately. Elderly, homeless veteran. Weathered face. Hopeful eyes. Doc, he says. They said you help people. We do. Benjamin guides him inside. Come on, let's get you taken care of. By end of day 47, patients seen. Every exam room full. Staff moving with purposeful efficiency. Benjamin treats each person with dignity. Takes time. Listens. Heals. Tori watches from the waiting room. Her investment, her vision brought to life by the man she loves. Evening comes. Last patient leaves. Staff exhausted but energized. First day success. Benjamin finds Tori in his office. She's sitting at his desk looking at the framed drawing Noah made. Dr. Dad saving people. You did it, she says. We did it. He sits beside her. This exists because you believed. I believed in you. Past tense. Now I know. Present tense. They sit in comfortable silence. Windows overlooking street where broken people are welcome. Where healing happens without judgment or bills that destroy. 5 years later, Noah Hayes Campbell stands in the community center gym teaching CPR to teenagers. Just like his dad taught him years ago. He's 12 now. Confident. Kind. Words flowing easily where once there was only silence. Emma Hayes Campbell, 11, sits at a table helping elderly patients fill out insurance forms. Leadership in her blood. Compassion in her heart. Already planning to follow her mother into business, or her father into medicine, or both. In the doorway, Benjamin and Tori watch their children serve their community. pride overwhelming, Tori's still CEO, but works reasonable hours. Benjamin runs the center, now expanded to 3 locations across the city. They've treated over 50,000 patients, changed thousands of lives, proved that healthcare with compassion works. They've added a 4th member to the family, 3-year-old Lily, who currently naps in the center's daycare. Blonde curls like her mother, serious eyes like her father, already showing signs of being as wise as her older siblings. "They're going to change the world," Tori whispers. "They already are," Benjamin replies. "Look at them." He gestures to Noah, patiently demonstrating chest compressions, to Emma carefully explaining forms, both children becoming who they're meant to be, all because a broken surgeon chose to save one woman's life, because a CEO believed in second chances, because 2 lonely kids pushed their parents together, because love, it turns out, really does heal everything. On the center wall hangs a plaque, in memory of Lieutenant Sarah Hayes, RN, who taught us that healing is about service, that courage is about showing up, that love never dies, it transforms. Below it, Sarah's photo in uniform, smiling. She's become the center's patron saint. Not forgotten, celebrated, her sacrifice honored by the lives saved in her name. Benjamin touches the plaque every morning. "Thanks for sending me, Tori. Thanks for Noah. Thanks for teaching me it's okay to move forward." And sometimes in quiet moments, he swears he feels Sarah's approval, a warmth, a peace, knowing he honored her memory by living fully, by loving completely, by being the man she believed he could be. Tori finds him there often, hand on Sarah's photo. She wraps arms around him, rests her head on his shoulder, never jealous, only grateful, because Sarah's love shaped the man Tori loves. And that's beautiful. That's grace. That's how family works. Expanding, including honoring all who came before. Sometimes the people who save us aren't the ones we expect. Sometimes they're invisible until the moment we need them most. Sometimes they're janitors with hidden skills, CEOs with wounded hearts, children with matchmaking schemes. Sometimes they're ourselves finally brave enough to try again. This story began with a desperate child, a hidden hero, and an act of violence. But it became about so much more, about choosing life after loss, about building family from broken pieces, about believing that second chances aren't just real, they're sacred. Benjamin and Tori didn't get a fairy tale. They got something better, a real love forged through trauma, strengthened by honesty, deepened by patience. They got kids who saved them as much as they saved the kids. They got community that became family. They got morning coffee and homework battles and ordinary miracles. They got home. If this story touched your heart, don't let it end here. Let it remind you that healing is always possible. That love comes when we're finally ready to receive it. That sometimes the hardest chapters lead to the most beautiful endings. Subscribe to our channel and join the Soul Lift Stories family, where we believe in second chances in love that heals in ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Share this with someone who needs hope, someone who's hiding, someone who's forgotten they deserve happiness. Because maybe somewhere there's another Benjamin waiting to be brave, another Victoria waiting to trust, another Emma and Noah ready to change the world. Hit that like button if this story moved you. Share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And subscribe so you never miss another story about courage, healing, and the power of showing up when it matters most. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing. See you in the next story.